in action here live from North Hobart Oval. It's a pretty glorious day out here in southern Tasmania. The wind blowing a little bit, but albeit it's a pretty mild day out here at North Hobart Oval. My name's Bo Down. Absolute pleasure to bring this one to you alongside Ryan Rosendale. Ryan, really cracking game looking for this afternoon.
Good to be with you again, mate. Yeah, should be set for a really good contest here at North Hobart Oval. Obviously, two sides at polar opposite ends of the ladder, with the Tigers in third and the Demons bring up the rear in seventh. But you think with a couple of handy ins for Adam Bester's side today, Bo, that the Demons should present a better challenge than most weeks.
Yeah, certainly a few ins and outs for both teams. Tyler McGuinness and Nathaniel Salzberger back into the side this afternoon. Isaac McCrimmon a really big out, and Will McMurray making his way out of the team. Brereton, Clifford, Brereton as well. Two Breretons coming into the lineup this afternoon. Bennett and Thorpe in. Eddie Cole out, Nick Baker, Kane, Evans and Watt out for Kingborough.
Yeah, Eddie Cole back to New Zealand with a few work commitments, Bo, with his greenkeeping job in the golf course, but all reports are that he'll be back for a finals charge. And then Nick Baker popped a concussion last week in that game against Lauderdale, so he'll miss this week, but obviously with the state game next week that allows him just to miss the 1 week, I believe. So a couple of big outs for the Tigers, but this lineup is a pretty stacked one, so they should be able to cover the absence of both Eddie Cole and Nick Baker today, especially with the skipper wanting to back in.
Yeah, certainly. It's not the most important game, I guess, today against North Hobart, but obviously still wanting to win. But it's probably a good game for Trent Bournemouth to probably rest a few players, like, I guess, Baker is pretty handy to have the week off, and also Cole is Ryan, you want to take us away.
So Tompkinson, it's the first one down, straight down the throat of Kieran Lovell, and he just bursts out a stop. It just is a hot start for the Tigers. Good mark taken though in the defensive 50, and they'll repel here. Webb, nice intercept by that man. First time the Tigers are back on North Hobart Oval since last year's premiership triumph, so it's a lot of good memories here for the Tigers as Brewer buys a strong tackle. Went head-to-head with Sam Siggins last week and kept Siggo relatively quiet by his standards, so set for another big game today. Lovell got it from Tompkinson to Brewer. High up and under footy, goes down in towards Ashland. They can't win it out. Demons repel now through the midfield. Good tackle applied there. They'll get a stoppage on the wing, they will, as Lockie Griggs just tries to break away with the umpire will say, let's bring that one back. So, hot start from the Tigers. What can the Demons do here?
So it looked like it was Bingham at the bottom of that pack there. Umpire will throw it back up. Tompkins. Stellar game last time these two teams played. Round 14, I believe it was. Hat kick out just in front of Keeling. Does well just to bring ball to ground. And the pack just forming, and we'll see another ball up. So, very early stages so far. No team really taking any ground. Tompkinson, Miller, again just kicking to a teammate. And now they're going to repel by way of Salzberger. Ball just trickling inside forward 50. Salzberger sets it to the top of the square. Cleaver was just there. And Miller will want to rush it over. Clifford will get the first rush behind of the afternoon.
Play it down inside 50, Bo. So might get a stoppage of play here. It's been waived by Lockie Griggs. So once I can identify who that is, I'll get a name for us on the poll. Sure, the team sheet, Bo, when that play was on, Silverberg kicked that ball. It looked like it was going to go through for a goal, but in the end it didn't. So stoppage in play. Two other games for you on the live stream today. Next Short Derby down at the tip. Lauderdale and Clarence. No Mitch Robinson today though. Well, they were laid out with some, some stuff outside of footy to deal with. So, Robbo, no show for the Bombers today. While the other game is the other derby, Bo. You've got Launceston and North Launceston up at Windsor Park. Obviously, a bit of a clash with the AFL game there at Utah Stadium between the Hawks and the Dockers. So, not too sure how many they'll get out at Windsor, given there's some AFL in town. But always a cracking game between the two rivals up north. So, plays halted here still. Both teams have come in to, I guess, just reassess, as we're only, a couple of minutes into this game. 3 minutes gone, so they'll come towards the bench now. Premiership coach Trent Bournemouth has urged his side towards him. And I might just, if you want to take over, I might just look back on the vision on the replay and see exactly who this player is and what went down.
Yeah, absolutely. So this game is really going to be one at turnover. They conceded 77 points last week, North Hobart. So not a very good display of effort, where Kingborough, they scored 55 points through turnover, if you don't mind, last week against Lauderdale. So just coming back into the huddles right now, but the game's going to be one at turnover. A really good turnover team, I guess, with Kingborough taking on a not so very good at conceding turnover team in North Hobart.
So it looks like it was Ambrose Brereton that went down, Bo. Came down holding his shoulder in the end. So it might be a shoulder concern for Ambrose. Came down nasty as he went up to apply a bit of a spoil. So hopefully doesn't look, it looks pretty nasty on the replay, but fingers crossed it's not as nasty in the aftermath. He's clearly one of the players in that defensive 50, especially in the absence of Lockie Godomski, been away, I believe, in Europe on a holiday the last few weeks. So Ambrose has really taken a little bit of a step up when he has played TSL footy, Bo. So one that they won't want to be missing a whole heap of footy in the back half of the year.
Yeah, looks like someone is on the phone down there, so I'd probably assume we get an ambulance. Great to see Mark Beck back in the coaching ranks down here. He was obviously the former coach of Hobart, so he's just rallying the troops. Obviously a really big game down here at North Hobart. It's a pleasure to bring it to you. Not quite sure how much footy we're going to see this afternoon. If this is the occurrence, if you cast your mind back to the STJFL Grand Final, there was a pretty unfortunate injury where the ambulance had to come on the ground, albeit a later night. So I'm sure we'll get a bit of footy in this afternoon. But
yeah, I can't imagine we wouldn't get this game underway at some point, Bo. I think as soon as they can get Ambrose off the ground, they'll restart this game. But to be fair, he has not moved 1 inch yet, Ambrose Brereton. So I guess, as we said, heading into this game, this will be the final time these two sides meet, Bo, in the TSL. So obviously North Hobart, probably fair to say, no chance to make finals now, given that they've only won the one game for the year, and we've got, I think, about 7 games left. So it'd take some kind of miracle for the Demons to cause a bit of an upset and charge up the ladder towards September. So this will definitely, you'd think, be the last time these two sides meet in the Tasmanian State League. Obviously they'll join the SFL Premier League competition next year, which will house the 5 current Southern teams and Brighton from the SFL, but definitely the last 2 times these sides will meet in this competition. They've really put together a bit of a healthy rivalry over the years. Obviously, really, I guess, came to a head when Trent Bumler, who was involved at Hobart City back in the day as an assistant coach, got the head coaching job down at the Twin Ovals, and a few players headed down the highway with him from memory. Will Campbell, one of those. Blake Grant, Sam Dyke, and a few ex-Tigers joined him and really pumped up this rivalry in the years gone by. It's probably dissipated a little bit, fair to say, in the last 3 or 4 years, given the turnover of players at both clubs. But from memory, in the late 2010s, Bo, 2015, 16, 17, it was a fairly hefty rivalry back in the day. So clearly these two sides haven't liked each other in the past, but as I said, a lot of turnover in these two lists since that time.
Yeah, certainly, Ryan. Really interesting point is that Coach Adam Bester coaching from the box today. We usually see him down on that boundary. That's why Mark Beck will be the senior assistant down there on that boundary line. But really interesting what he's got to say at the moment. Just, they didn't look too bad, North Hobart, just going forward. But Salzburg obviously putting that one to the top of the square where it all happened. It was a hot start really early. So
it's funny you mentioned that word, Bo, hot start. This is an interesting one. You see the North Hobart players now just going through a little bit of a warm-up. These players obviously came into this game, and 3 minutes in, they're going to have to basically do a whole restart to this contest because they've been out there for 3 minutes. Not much play is actually taking place. So it's basically a whole restart to this contest. So you can see Kingborough now heading down towards the forward 50. They'll go through another, I think you could say, a pre-game warm-up, given they haven't played much footy yet. North Hobart will stick close to the bench. But yeah, obviously you said, Bo, a lot of outs today for both sides. Nick Baker, Eddie Cole, the big ones for Kingborough. Crane, Evans and Watt, a couple of debutants from this season that have made their senior debuts and have been in and out of the senior side, but they went back to the D-League today. Tigers went down in the end, Bo, I think, to North Hobart in the Development League. So the Ds, despite the absence of coach Brad Tilbury and a few other players that have come up to fill a bit of a void in the senior side, given the injuries they've had to deal with this year, their twos continue to fly in the D-League. So, a bit of an unknown situation, Rimbo. We haven't had to deal with this a lot this year. I think they might be heading...
Probably this time.
Looks like they might be heading in. So, you can see Coach Trent Bullmiller coming out with his side. Obviously, Mark Beck. Looks like Adam Bester may be heading down from the coach's box. So, we'll try and get an update at ground level on where things sit here. It's a very peculiar situation we're in.
I guess it's pretty lucky that, Brian, that it is only 3 minutes into this game and you're not going to have to reset a lot. Obviously, 3 minutes, you've barely done any running.
It looks like, I think it's fair to say both sides will head into the change rooms, and I think it's fair to say we'll probably be awaiting the arrival of an ambulance for Ambrose Brereton because he has not moved. So might take a short break on the call, given we've been rambling for a few minutes now. So we'll take a short break on the call and we'll try to get some confirmation on where this game sits, but I assume what will happen is that we'll wait for an ambulance to come to North Hobart, look after Ambrose Brewer to make sure he gets the attention he needs, and potentially we'll restart this game when that's all taken care of. So stick with us on the live stream here. Not too sure where things sit, but we'll get an update for you in the next few minutes, and we'll pass that one on to you when we can. Stick with us. Hello, welcome back to the Tasmanian State League live stream via the AFL Tas YouTube page. Ryan Rosendale and Bo Down with you here at North Hobart Oval. Your eyes don't deceive you. We are in the midst of a Holt in play. If you're just joining us, Tigers defender Ambrose Brereton has gone down in the first 3 minutes with a pretty nasty injury, which looks like an arm injury from the replay. And Bo, we just received an update from competition management, mate. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so Ambrose Brereton, I believe, is a popped shoulder down there at ground level. 10 minute. Obviously, there was a pretty similar incident last around a couple weeks ago. So I'm getting tongue-tied, but a couple of weeks ago in the Old Scholars, it took them 3 hours to get an ambulance. So hopefully it's quicker than that. But as soon as they get Ambrose off the ground, or the ambulance come, they give him some pain relief. They get him off the ground. 10-minute warm-up for each team, and then we'll be back in the swing of things. Right.
So fingers crossed we aren't here. I guess for us it's not really any concern. The major concern sits with Ambrose Brereton, so fingers crossed for that man that he's not waiting as long for an ambulance. So we'll break here on the live stream until we have some kind of update on when play will restart. But if you're tuning in, you've got 2 other games to tickle your fancy. You've got Lauderdale and Clarence down at the tip, so tune into either that game or the Northern Derby up at Windsor Park between Lonnie and North Lonnie. So tune into one of those games while we wait for a restart of play here at North Hobart. We'll be back with you when we do have a restart. But for now, we appreciate you being with us on the live stream. Stick with us and hopefully we're back with you soon. Hello, welcome back to North Hobart Oval. It's an update for you. If you look to the right of your screen, you'll obviously see some trainers and support staff and ambulance and paramedics now on the scene for Tigers defender Ambrose Brereton, who looks to have gone down on the replay. I don't want to preempt anything, obviously, as I'm not a doctor, but it looks like a pretty nasty broken arm as he came down on the landing. So the good news is that the ambulance and the ambulance has arrived and paramedics are working on him now. It looks like he'll be transported to the hospital momentarily, and we should be able to get some play underway here. But obviously the immediate thoughts are with Ambrose and his health. But it's not, I guess, a situation we're used to being in, but as you said, 3-hour wait a few weeks ago in another local footy game. So good to see that, I guess, given the proximity of North Hobart Oval to the Royal Hobart Hospital in the city, it was good to see the ambulance here in some pretty short time frame to attend to Ambrose.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is, Ryan. It's great to see the Ambos out here. They do a great job, obviously, and I think it's great that we're just taking our time here. There's no rush, but obviously a women's game after, but great thing about these Southern Tasmania games is there's still the lights available, which is probably the smallest issue that we've got. But just really, I guess, curious to see how this is going to affect his other brothers, Harry and Marty. Really, I don't think I'd be worrying about football, to be honest, if my brother went down like that, Ron.
Yeah, it'd be a definite worry, an area of concern for the Tigers coaching staff, Trent Buller and his support staff. But you'd think that with the experience and the maturity in that group, you might get a guy like a Lockie Clifford, a Jack Tompkinson, a Ben Donnelly be able to give some support and guidance to Ambrose's two brothers out there, and they'll hopefully be able to come out here and continue on with the game. And as you said, Bo, clearly their thoughts will be elsewhere. So it'll be interesting to see how, I guess, the Tigers restart this game. As I said, we're only 3 minutes into the action when the injury went down. So an update will be once Ambrose is cleared from the ground. It'll be a 10-minute warm-up period between Ambrose leaving the field of play and play restarting. And then we should be ready to return to some action here at North Hobart Oval. Yeah,
this looks like he's getting up onto that bed now. Obviously, I guess the last thing we're thinking about in this situation is the game, and I guess...
Correct, yep.
But the thing that comes to, I guess, it's not a... You don't want this to happen to anyone, but North Hobart, they don't have a big, really key forward, so I guess they can really move the magnets around now, Kingborough, and really manipulate that. But you don't want to see this with anyone as he just gets onto that hospital bed now. But
you don't. You're right, Bo. This is probably, from my memory, one of the nastiest injuries we've seen, I guess, in the past few seasons in the TSL. There's been a lot over the journey. Obviously, the one that springs to mind for me is Aaron Cornelius all those years ago at Belrive Oval with his leg. But this one obviously looks like a broken arm, I want to say, with Ambrose Brereton. I'll get some confirmation on that from Tigers coach Trent Buller post-game, and you can read that tomorrow in the Mercury. So hopefully we'll have some post-game confirmation about where Ambrose's health sits, but fingers crossed that it looks like, as both said, he's back up on the stretcher, so no doubt he'll be transported away to hospital in the next few minutes, and fingers crossed he'll get the care and attention that he needs to make a full recovery.
It's great our local footy, I guess, brings people together. It's great to see both trainers, I guess, from either team out there. Obviously, everyone working together is a really great thing, and you never want to see this with anything, but they've been really prompt, to be honest, Ryan. Like, obviously, you wouldn't get this scenario many times, and you probably wouldn't practice it a lot, but I think the North Hobart, the management staff, the team manager and the ground manager have been really prompt and swift on what they're doing at the moment.
They have. You can see a North Hobart support staff there just trudging across the field of play, so I assume he's heading into the Tigers rooms just to give the Tigers fellas an update on where play sits. As we said, once Ambrose is transported off the field of play and into the ambulance, both teams, we believe, will return to the field of play for a 10-minute warm-up period, as they would do before the game, and then we should get play back underway here. Some score updates for you from around the grounds. 5.5 minutes gone in the second quarter up at Windsor Park in the Northern Derby, and it's all North Launceston early in that game. The ladder leaders leading that one 40-6. While the other derby today is the Eastern Shore variety over at the Tip. No Mitch Robinson for that game, but despite the absence of Robbo back into the Bombers lineup, Lauderdale lead that one quite comfortably at the minute. 30 plays, 8, 6 and 7 minutes, gone in that one. Andrew Cooling not on the call today. He's
Adam Webster.
Adam Webster, I should say. Got my A's mixed up. So Adam Webster back on the call today alongside Jacob Dool. Our man Andrew Cooling up in Launceston on AFL duties for the Hawks and Freo game. And the City Park radio boys, Dave Moore and the team, bringing you all the action up at Windsor Park. So we might take another quick break here. Just wanted to jump back on and give you an update. You can see there Ambrose Brereton now thumbs up to the crowd here at North Hobart Oval, and he, no doubt, Bo's got the green whistle in for some pain relief, and he's got the blanket on, so he will be transported away to hospital. Does look like that arm that he came down on is hidden under a blanket, so I want to say that potentially it is a broken arm. Looks like obviously some support there from, looks like a couple of his family members, so good to see Ambrose getting some support he needs, and he'll be transported to hospital in the next few minutes, and we should be getting back underway here in the space of 10 to 15 minutes.
And just a quick little, a little plug. State game next week up at UTAS Stadium in Launceston, the 20th of July. Tasmania taking on Sydney/Canberra. Get your tickets right now. They'll be all around. I'm pretty sure they're in the bio of the TSL Instagram. They'll obviously be promoting that during the week. Really big game against Sydney/Canberra. They don't have too many big names, so should be comfortably getting the job done there. Should
be a big week of footy up there. You've got, I believe, the two Coates Talent League Devils sides, the girls and the boys will kick off the action of the day up at UTAS next Saturday, and then you'll obviously have the women's game will follow in the early afternoon, and then the late arvo, I think a 5:10 start for the men's team, so a late start. And really a smorgasbord, I should say, of local sport up in Launceston next week. You've also got the TNL Tasmanian Netball League Grand Final will also be played. I think it's 7 o'clock on next Saturday. So if you're a northern-based Tasmanian, you've got your choice of sport next week, as we see the Tigers boys now run back out on the ground. So obviously their thoughts will be with their teammate in Ambrose Brereton, but good to see them back. So we might take just a short break here, so we're not just continuously rambling, Bo, but we might come back. We'll give you a rundown, I guess, of what's happened here and the season so far, given we've, I think, 7 weeks to go in the TSL year. So we'll take a short break at North Hobart Oval. Ryan Rosadale, Bo down, and we'll be back with you in just a little bit. Hello, back with you on the live stream. That was a very quick break. Just a update from competition manager Michael Holes come through the commentary box. So, player will resume at 2:55 p.m. and the player will resume, Bo, in the goal square at the right-hand side of the ground. So it will, I guess, player will resume. As we said, the umpires also come back on the ambulance now, departing North Hobart Oval. So again, thoughts with Ambrose Brereton. Hopefully he is in some good spirits despite what looked like a pretty nasty injury. So as I said, 2:55 restart here at North Hobart. Player will resume back in the goal square in the North Hobart forward 50. Bo, as I said, almost we're halfway gone in this TSL season now. I think 7 rounds to go. So after this week, obviously round 15 today, we'll have, as you mentioned before, we'll have the competition bye next week for the state game, and then that'll roll us into the last 7 weeks of the season. So we look on the ladder, I guess. It's been a one-horse race so far this year. North Lonnie have beaten all comers, 12 and zip. A few teams have challenged them at times, but haven't been able to I guess, be on top when it mattered. Clarence today, obviously playing Lauderdale, they sit comfortably in second spot with a 10-2 record. They sit 3 games ahead of the third place Tigers. They sit 7-5 with a pretty healthy percentage, but when you look in 4 spot, Bo, you've got Lauderdale right on their tail with a 6-6 record and a healthier percentage than the Tigers. The Tigers at 115.59, while Lauderdale at 126.87. So I guess we might look at the bottom 3 in a second, Bo, but the race for that top 4 for the finals is really going to come down to these last 7 weeks of action.
Yeah, you definitely spot on there, Ryan. Glenorchy, a percentage of 60.9. So whether they can make the top 4, I don't.
It's the big thing, isn't it?
So the Lauderdale 6-6 with a percentage, obviously you said, of 126. So that percentage gap is really going to cost them. But I guess if you win games, you don't put yourself out of the running to the final round. Obviously, Launceston, North Hobart, you can scrap them off. They've been pretty poor this year, to be honest. But I think it's a 5-team sort of.
Yep.
It's really hard to. Glenorchy
definitely still have a chance. I think. Speaking to Josh Arnold during the week, obviously they've got the bye this week. They'll obviously have the bye again next week, given the state game. You'd think potentially probably only Harrison Gunther plays in that game from the Magpies, unless something drastic was to happen at selection for Tasmania. So a lot of boys will have a 2-week, buffer period of some rest. You'd think Jay Bowden potentially back post-bye, so that'll be a handy in. Word was that Heath Shaw was also going to try to get back to Glenorchy after his one-off appearance here a few weeks ago. So if you can include the likes of Jay Bowden and Heath Shaw in the build-up to finals, as you said, Bo, they sit 2 games out of the top 4 currently. They sit 4 and 8 with a percentage of just 60.9, but as you said, that percentage currently for Lauderdale at 126.87 with a 2-game buffer. So Glenorchy would have to get on some kind of run, but as you said, definitely not out of calculations as we, shift our focus from a team perspective to an individual perspective. You look at the Hudson medal count. Harvey Griffiths is got a 3-goal lead currently at the top of the Hudson medal table. He's the North Launceston forwards, kicked 40 goals for the year. Second place is, second and third place, a couple of Clarence players. You've got Josh Green after his 6-goal haul that we called last week. He currently sits on 37, but obviously no Greenie today for Clarence, out with an ankle injury, so Greenie will miss today. Bryce Alome sitting in 3rd spot with 30 goals, and then rounding out the top 5, you've got Brandon Leary from the Bombers with 26 and Tyler Carter, who's out there today, with 24. So you look at that Hudson medal leaderboard, Bo, a lot of different names in there, and fair to say, obviously, Tyler Carter been around the competition a long time, but I guess apart from Carter and Green, a lot of young players in there, which is good to see. Leary, Alomes and Griffiths. Yeah,
your main key forward, there's only 3 main key forwards in there for me. Sam Siggins, Carter and Griffiths. Alomes.
Siggins sitting 6.
Siggins in there at 6, and also, but Tyler Carter, Siggins and Alomes are the only 3 key forwards. The rest are small forwards with Green, Leary and Ben Hyatt rounding out the sort of top 5 to 6 spots. So really interesting competition. I've loved the season to date, Ryan, to be honest. It's been
one of the closest in recent memory. I've only been covering it for the last few years, Bo. Obviously been a long time fan, but when you think about the history of this competition, as I said, restarted back in 09. A lot of a few seasons there in the middle patches, in the late 2010s, it was a very top-heavy comp with teams like your Lauderdales, your Launcestons, your North Launcestons and your Clarences, but this year it really feels like, even though, you've got North Hobart, just the 1 win, Glenorchy and Lonnie at the bottom of the ladder, all those teams have been able to challenge the teams at the top of the ladder throughout the season, so it definitely feels like one of the closest years in recent memory. So obviously a disappointing, year, given that it's the final year of the competition and it's also probably one of the closest in memory, but as we know, a bit of a restructure coming next year with Tasmanian football. The 5 Southern TSL teams will join what's being branded as the new SFL Premier League. And they'll be joining that competition by current SFL club Brighton. So that'll become a 6-team comp, while Launceston and North Launceston will join the NTFA after they were accepted into that competition a few weeks ago. So a bit of a restructure ahead for all these sides, but good to see, from a Kingborough perspective during the week, Bo, that Tigers Premiership coach Trent Bullner has put pen to paper on a new deal for next year. So he will remain at the helm of the Tigers as they head into a bit of a new era in the SFL Premier League in 2025.
I'm a much bigger fan of the 6-team competition. I don't like the fact that in this competition we have the teams playing a bye every week. It's obviously the best competition in the state. You want to have the best teams out there playing every week, but it's going to be really interesting to see how Launceston and North Launceston go in the NTFA. You'd probably assume that a few of those North Launceston Premiership heroes would probably finish up, possibly like Cox Goodyear and
obviously
Simpson maybe.
Obviously, Brad Cox Goodyear has a bit of a dual role this year as a coach with the AFL Tasmania talent program. So, not too sure where BCG's footy sits post this year. Obviously, a lot of ex-Launceston players have also departed the Blues in years gone by post their premiership success back to some local clubs in the NTFA competition. So potentially a lot of those guys could come back to your Lonnies or your North Lonnies now they're back playing regional football. So very interested to see how things shape up in the north of the state come 2025. And when you look down here at the south of the state, given that these teams will merge into the SFL, I think you'd be okay to assume that there'll probably be some pretty heavy player movement within the SFL between the two comps, between the Premier and the regional divisions next year, given that I know a lot of players from the Kingborough side are originally from Cygnet, so you might see a little bit of a mix-up between a couple of the sides from down the Huon way. Also, Glenorchy and Claremont might have, obviously, they're both in that northern suburbs region of Hobart, so you might see a little bit of player movement there. Potentially, you could even see, I know in the past few years, we've seen a lot of ex-Glenorchy players shift over to the Old Scholars competition and play for St Virgil, so could potentially see some ex-Magpie players come back now that I guess that factor of having to travel up north once or twice every month is eliminated from their footy schedule. So it'll be interesting to see how things pan out in 2025. But as I said, we've still got this round of footy, a state game next week to come, and then the last, I think, 7 rounds off the top of my head of the season following that, plus finals. So and we're set for a bit of a cracking finish to the year, by, as I said, one of the closest years in memory. We'll take another short break here on the call. And as you can see, both teams have reset in the middle. So we'll take a quick break on the live stream and we'll be back with you for the restart of play at North Hobart Oval in just a little bit. Back with you on the TSL live stream. Just jumped off and we're joined in the commentary box by North Hobart coach Adam Bester. Confirmation from that man that it does look to be a broken arm to Tigers defender Ambrose Brereton. So, again, thoughts with that young man as he looks to potentially maybe miss the rest of the year. So we'll get an update on that one for you post-game from the Tigers, coach Trent Bumler and his support staff. But as Adam Bester said, they went into the rooms for that short break, watched the first couple of minutes of Vision, and then just had a little bit of a relax period in there, and then returned to a bit of a warm-up in the room. So, as Adam said to us both, one that you're not, I guess you don't come in planning for, but they've had to, deal with what they've been given.
Yeah, definitely not on my bingo list when I turn up to North Hobart over this afternoon, but nonetheless, we're back playing football here at North Hobart. It's good to see that we'll be returning back into the goal square where the ball just left off, and looks like it might be Brower to bring this one in for us. Maybe I think it might be Zachary Adams, Ryan.
Confirmation too from Adam Vesterbo that Isaac McCrimmon out with illness today, and Jack Gilligan also out with illness.
So Adams kicks it into the middle. It's a real chaos ball. Tompkinson just off the hands of him. Nice little scooping hand pass off from Keeling. Hot start early. James kicks it out. Running it over there was Sulzberger. Confirmation that he was in the Yellows last week. Didn't get too much of it. We're looking to play a little bit more of an impressive role today. Sandrick just over the head of Leaf Hebert. And yet there was Cleaver. Left Hebert just to the near face of the goal, out on the full Ryan, so...
Been in good form the last few weeks, Thomas Leithebert for the Demons. He's really led the resurgence they've had in the middle part of the year, as I said. Challenged a few teams, only got the one win a couple of weeks ago against Launceston here on their home deck, but they've had a really good patch of footy in the last month as Adams kicks out. Can't find Tompkinson. Well spoiled there by Charlie Meadows, and it's going to go straight back inside 50 for the Demons, and the good mark's being taken just on the, I want to say 40 metres out boat by the man in the 62, and that's Jack Miller. So Jack Miller will have the first shot on goal here at North Hobart Oval. Sorry, a set shot I should say. One behind was scored before play was halted with injury to Ambrose Brereton. We just had another behind. So Jack Miller with the first set shot on goal today. He's not going to make the distance. Bailey Walker came from absolutely nowhere. Zach Adams has probably had that every day of the week, but Bailey Walker with a good intercept spoil, and they'll reset for a boundary throw-in inside 50 for North Hobart.
Great to see Miller back in the team. He's a really talented cricketer as well. He's been had a bit of an injury, back spasms last year, missing the last sort of CTPL fixtured games. Back playing for North Hobart here this afternoon. Tompkinson gets it out of the ruck, shrugs off it. Opponent in Miller. This one's going to be called for a ball up deep inside forward 50 for the Tigers. So hot start. Walker and Tompkinson. Tompkinson off the hands of Brewer. This one's going to be ruled in for another behind. Ball up I should say. And then Tompkinson, Lovell, Stellier off the hands of Volta. Spinning out of trouble was Bingham. Sulzberger, Norton was the intended target. Clifford just got wrapped up. We'll see the ball up, Ryan.
Good to see the skipper Lockie Clifford back in today for the Tigers. 2 weeks out with a corked quad. All reports a very nasty corked quad. He went down within the state game when he played for Tasmania a few weeks ago. So it's good to see the skipper for the Tigers back out as they look to go forward here through the middle. Webb can't take clean possession. He's set upon by a number of Demons and will reset. So, as I said, if you're just joining us here at North Hobart, your eyes don't deceive you. We are still in the first quarter after injury, a nasty one. Broken arm to Ambrose Brereton early in this game, 3 minutes in. He has been transported to hospital, so thoughts are with Ambrose as he looks to make a recovery from what was a nasty break. Kieran Lovell, as both said, terrific year, tries to find Murray Bastick, can't get him. Bastick goes back to Lovell, who's got Griggs wide on the wing. Goes to him now. Griggs kicks forward, Zeitzen had to fight at the back. College over the back. He's going to set and run. Goes inside 50. Max College for the first of the day. Doesn't find it. He does find, though, Tyler Carter right on the goal line. So the man they call Wob played game 150 2 weeks ago up at UTAS. He puts through the first of the day. And the Tigers have their first. So 106 to North Hobart 022. Tyler Carter with the first of the day here at North Hobart.
Again, some really nice ball movement used there by the Tigers. I'm really liking Zach Adams kicking out of full back. He's a little bit risky, but I'm really liking what he's producing there at the full back line. But again, Tyler Carter just adding to his goal kicking list.
Should really mention Zach Adams. Spoke to him on Tuesday for the Mercury. Come back from a really nasty broken neck. Fractured his C6 in his neck back in December. All reports were that he was planning to go back to Port Melbourne this year, was back home to finish his apprenticeship. Training with the Tigers in the off-season, obviously permitted to play with Port Melbourne last year, but great to see him back from a broken neck where a lot of people may not be back as soon as Zach is. So terrific to see that man back out there, as you said.
Kilpatrick can send them forward again for the D. Slipping over was Watson. Left header. Bingham all combining. Right, just crumbing the ball, diving on it, gets the hand pass out. Bingham crushed. And now we'll see you holding the ball. I think it might have been a high free kick.
I think you're right, Bay. It was crushed, though. He's going to get a free kick, Bingham.
So it's going to be Josh Bingham. Came off once Brereton went down. He took the boot off instantly. He might have had a little bit of a left ankle concern, but not looking like it this afternoon as we resume play here at North Hobart Oval. So Josh Bingham, nice year. Another one of these talented younger players. Be a tough kick for him. A lot of the young players for North Hobart shining at the moment. So Bingham to get the lead once more. Crosses the arc of 50. Bingham. Kick is going to come back. It's beautifully straight from Bingham. First of the afternoon for the D's comes by way of Josh Bingham.
That was as straight as you like from Josh Bingham. So that's the first of the day for the Demons. 1-2-8 plays 1-0-6. So tight one here early at North Hobart. Still sitting in the first quarter here, as we said, after that injury to Ambrose Brereton. So a good restart from both sides here after what was a bit of a delay in play. Probably off the field for anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes, Bo, I'd assume. So 15 minutes ticked over now in the first quarter. Tyler Carter with the first of the day for the visitors. And Josh Bingham immediately gets a response inside 50. So hot start early. It's Tompkinson. He'll contest with Meadows. They go forward now. The Tigers level off the deck. Tries to find Max College. Can't do that. High up and under footy kick there. That wham was Jackson Thorpe. Goes almost a mark. I thought it was to Gus Norton. It was paid in the end, Bo. So Gus Norton will kick the footy out of the back 50 for the Demons.
So Norton, just not much to go to. Sulzberger dropping a pretty easy mark. Thorpe on his tail. Meadows. Nice ground ball pick up. Barrow just got his kick smothered by Thorpe. And now again the whistle's been blown though. So coming back to James Zeitzen. Kicking inside forward 50. College at the back, brings ball to ground, nearly crumbing it up. McGuinness is lurking around, back from suspension this week. Adams kicks it inside forward 50 to Skeen, dropping what he probably should have taken. Thorpe just hand passing off to Zeitzen. Long, adventurous kick on goal from Zeitzen.
That's a terrific goal from James Zeitzen. As good as you like from that man. So he kicks the Tigers second. And they retake the lead here at North Hobart Oval, the home of footy in southern Tasmania. So one goal to Carter, one goal to James Zeitzen. And we weren't too sure about what to expect from the Tigers, given they've had to, I guess, come back out after the nasty injury to Ambrose Brereton. But it looks like, as I said, the maturity of this side's been able to withstand and put aside any emotion that they may be feeling currently. And they've taken again retaken the lead, I should say. It's a 4-point lead at this point in the first quarter.
Yeah, certainly, Ryan. They're looking like they're in some hot form, the Tigers. Not quite sure if North Hobart can withstand this pressure. Tompkinson kicking off the deck there was Lovell. Tilbury can send them inside forward 50 once more. Too hot to handle there for Barwick. Nice pick up from Bastick. Just left the ball behind. And this one we'll see. A throw-in, really interesting point off air before, Ryan. Kingborough haven't really got stuck into Brad Tilbury yet.
No, he's been in good form the last few weeks. Brad Tilbury, as I said, come in a few weeks ago, given all the injuries, and he's one of the senior players in that lineup. So you'd think potentially, as I said, he's there. You can see him on screen alongside the likes of Kieran Love and Lockie Clifford. So one that they'll have to potentially put a little bit of time into, given he's one of the more mature bodies inside that midfield group alongside the likes of Jack Sandrick and Callum Kilpatrick. But we'll reset here. So as I said, 12 plays 8, 18 minutes gone. Both sides have had to come back out after that injury to Ambrose Brereton. 2-minute warm-up and they've been back to play, but hasn't affected the Tigers as yet. They've come back out and started this first quarter in exceptional form, coming off a really strong 37-point win last week over Lauderdale. Tilbury gets a handball out to a teammate. They kick forward now, the Demons. Mark not taken. It is by Barwick. So just inside the boundary line, says the umpire. He's claimed that one. So he'll have to do something pretty special here, Jonty Barwick, to put through the Demons second and respond. Can he do that? So one of the players that played in that Development League flag last year for the Demons, so he's got good memories on this ground. Jonty Barwick, can he put through his first of the day? He can't. That never looked like going through, really. So 1-3-9, plays 2-0-12, 19 minutes gone in the first quarter.
I reckon Tilbury's got a roll on Clifford this afternoon. Clifford's just come to the bench, Tilbury also following him. He was at that stoppage. You can see the boundary throw-in that we just had. He was at that stoppage. Hunting Lachlan Clifford as well, Ryan.
So interested to see if that matchup remains for the rest of the game. As we know, Lockie Clifford coming back from a corked quad. I mentioned before, suffered that in the state game 2 weeks ago. So Clifford's first game back today, so could potentially have a run with roll. Brad Tilbury on that man, Lockie Clifford. So reset now, just outside the North Hobart forward 50. Tompkinson will contest with Meadows. It's work cut out for him today. Sorry, I should say Charlie Meadows. Tongue-tied there. Lovell applies a strong tackle. Kilpatrick gets a handball out. Can't find a teammate though. Umpire's called a free kick. I think it was a high tackle, or was. So they'll get a free kick now, the Tigers. They'll go up the Ryde Street side wing. Fly from Zeitzen. Can't take it. Might have been a push in the back. Umpire says no. Ashland, he gets out, streams out, finds College on a good lead. College takes a mark. Just outside 50 now. What can he do with the footy? He's got options galore inside. Carter over the back. What can Tyler Carter do with the footy? Gets a handball away. Can't find a teammate. Dean's going to have to be good here to repel out of the back 50. Webb applies some strong pressure. That's terrific there from Max College. That's exactly what you want, as you see there, by all these teammates get around him. That's terrific defensive pressure from the forward.
Yeah, good forward pressure there from Max College. 20 minutes supposedly into this game. Feels a little bit more like 10 or 11. So we go inside forward 50 once more for the Tigers. So, just leading at the moment, the Tigers, off the hands of Meadows. He won the tap down. Whistle's been blown though. Looks like it will be going the way of Tyler Carter. Meadows has given away a free kick. And Carter to get 2 early goals in this game. He's looking lively down there in the forward line. Not a real key back since Campbell left last year for the D's. So, the work cut out for them this afternoon. Relatively easy kick for him. Being a left footer, playing in the Black Asics. Tyler Carter for 2 first quarter goals. Kick looks pretty good off the boots. Umpire barely has to move at all. Carter has 2. And the Tigers have 3.
Knows how to find the big sticks as Tyler Carter, as I said, played game 150 2 weeks ago up at UTAS Stadium. Been a long time serving of both the Tigers and this competition as a whole. Premiership player last year. Terrific to see him get some success after what was a pretty nasty leg break a few years ago. That was probably, as we mentioned on the call earlier, just trying to remember some nasty TSL injuries. That was another one that springs to mind. Tyler Carter suffered a really nasty ankle injury from memory now that my mind flicks into gear. Saw him miss a lot of footy. I think missed almost half a season of football, but did enough recovery to come back, and he's come back in exceptional form ever since he went down with that injury. And as I said, got the ultimate success last year on this ground as Webb gives to Tompkinson and goes back to the skipper in Clifford. Clifford's got Adams wide on the commentary side wing, and he goes to that man now. So Adams will just hold play momentarily. Look for an option inside 50. High ball. He's got Carter at the sit. He's got a 2 to beat. Mark almost taken by James. Good spoil from that man. Tried to come through with the spoil. Like to go with the mark in the end, but couldn't take it on the way down. So reset on play now. Carter against Meadows. Carter with another tap in on the ground. Can't get clean possession though. Skeen with a tackle. It's a good one. The umpire says we'll get a reset in play. Boat.
So back inside forward 50. Carter and Meadows. Carter rips it out. Ashland can run into an open goal. It's the 3rd for the Tigers. 4th, I should say. Ashland running in there, looking really good. He's had a stellar year so far, Riley Ashland.
That was terrific play there from Tyler Carter in the ruck. Often we see Tyler kind of take possession out of the ruck and spin on to his preferred side and kick a goal, but on that occasion he did that, but was able to give a handball off to Riley Ashland, who was streaming through that pack of players, and was able to put that straight through the big sticks. And as you said, Bo, he's had a terrific year, Riley Ashland. Missed a lot of footy last year, was away overseas in Europe from memory on a bit of a work trip. Came back late in the year, but still missed that premiership success last year. But he's come back in fine form, taken over the number 4 jumper from the man they call Soup in Will Campbell. Good to see that man, though, back playing some footy in the ODFA for Bothwell, I believe. So playing at the Rabbits this year, Will Campbell. Now he's back in the country part of Tasmania, working on the farm. So, as I said, Riley Ashland now donning the number made famous by that man. Play resets in the middle. Norton tries to shrug an opponent, can't do that. Thought it looked a little bit higher from where we sit here at North Hobart Oval, but the umpire said no. That was Brewer, the man to cop that. Tompkinson wins out in front of Meadows. Might have been higher there again. Umpire says no. Umpire says ball in the end. So, interesting few minutes here at North Hobart Oval. Zach Adams with the arms out. I'd have thought what I thought in the commentary box. The man with the tackle was Norton. He goes forward. He's got Leafhebber on the half-forward flank. He takes a mark on his chest. He's going to wheel and go. Goes inside to Bingham. Can't take a mark. Clifford at the fall of the footy. And they repel here, the Tigers. Leafhebber, he had company there from the man in the 54, Ryan Bradburn, the hero a few weeks ago at Windsor Park. I think his second game of senior footy, kicked the winning goal. The man with the footy again is Norton in the middle, so he goes into James. They've got numbers on this commentary side wing. If they want to use them, they do. So they'll go now to Keeling. Keeling takes a mark out in front of College. So Demons with all the play here in the last few minutes. They've got numbers ahead. Umpire calls for him to go now. So Keeling goes inside 50. A few Tigers going to set Tompkinson. He can't take the mark in front of a teammate though. It's a good strong grab there in the air. So what can they do here from Lockie Griggs? So he's called for players to come to him. So Griggs sets up the wing. Tompkinson's going to fly. Almost mark taken by James though in the end. Adams sets, waits, takes a mark. He's got a player on the far wing. That's Bradburn. Sorry, that was Will Clifford. He goes forward now to a teammate in Lovell. Lovell, punch over the back from the D's. This is good from North Hobart in defensive 50. They've had to deal with a lot so far in this game. James got it off Norton. He gets it back now. Norton, he's got Zeitzer for company, and that one is going to beat all comers over the boundary line. So 26 and a half minutes almost gone now, Bo Downham. Tigers with a 24-9 lead as we approach first siren for quarter time, I should say, here at North Hobart Oval.
It's a bit of a, big performance for some of these players that are looking to play in the state game next week. Ashland brings ball to ground. Right. Kicking it back there is Dixon. Umpire called non-15, playing on to Norton. He just hits up Leafhebber. Here we go. Out wider to James. It was Kilpatrick, sorry. Right. Just bursting through there with speed. Back out to Dixon. Back to right. Kicking it also to Meadows, back from a PCL injury last week. He had a nice performance. Hitting up James. Umpire again calling on 15. Play on. Kilpatrick down the line. Tompkinson going back in the hole and slipping over while he was at it. So a sunbaked North Hobart Oval. Perfect day here for footy in southern Tasmania. It's a pleasure to have you watching wherever you are around the planet. As Tompkinson sends a long one high down the line, off the hands of James. Probably should have marked it. Ferguson does well just to set and take the mark. Kicks it out wide to Volta. The laid in, just coming from behind was Griggs. Skeen providing pressure. College just bursting through with James again. Gets the hand pass away to McLeod. Skeen was lurking. And then they go to Leafhebber. A little bit of support, Ryan.
Leafhebber, so it's going to hold up play momentarily. He's got numbers at the back. Norton, he takes a mark in front of Zeitzer. He goes wider now. Got numbers on the far wing. So can they get this forward and score a late one here just to stay in touch? Walker can't take a mark. Clifford, he's got time and space, goes back to Brereton. He goes inside to Ashland. So Ashland takes a defensive 50 mark. That's not his best kick of the day. He's hit Jonty Barwick straight on the chest, and he goes forward again. The man with the footy, one of the ins today is Sulzberger. So good to see this man back for North Hobart, away boarding in Melbourne this year, Bo, playing with Sandringham in the Coates League, as you said, played Allies last week, and back at North Hobart today with, I guess, no duties interstate. So good to see Sulzberger back today. He's been lively early. That's working back, not enough though. So that's his first score of the day, but it's only a behind. 1-4-10 North Hobart. Tigers 4-0-24. We'll reset here with a kick in via the work of Zach Adams. So Trent Bullnor mentioned Thursday's press conference that Zach took a lot of the kick-ins last week, so it looks like that'll be the same this week. He's got a thumping boot on him. That goes right in front of us here at the commentary position. Ashland couldn't take it, neither could Carter, but he got it off the ground. Gave that Webb, who gave to Lovell. Brereton He got it from the Bulldog medalist. Seitzen can't take the mark. Tompkinson flew through, couldn't get it. Good work there from Dixon for the Demons. They go forward. Clifford's there. So is Brereton. A few numbers for the Tigers. Kick. Umpire says no, I'll have it. So they'll reset in the middle.
Yeah, it's been an hour and 15 long first quarter here at North Hobart Oval. It's been absolutely massive as Lovell tries to break stride. Umpire wasn't paying advantage on that occasion. It's going to go the way of Brad Tilbury, our man Ryan. So Tilbury just stopped here on the commentary side wing. And send them forward with a nice left foot kick inside forward 50. Crashing the pack was Zeitzen. Miller with a hand pass over the top. Going to push that one over there nicely, and professionally there is Clifford. So not long left in this first quarter. Adams is going to take the kick in again. This is going to roost a long one down towards the boundary line. 2-on-1. Zeitzen, but Ashland stands tall. Much on further afield though. Numbers just scrambling forward. That's where he goes. In the direction of Carter. Just bringing ball to ground. Skeen was running onto it, but left the ball behind. Free kick going to Carter. A few spares though. The D's inside forward 50. Not much going on. James is there. Dinky little kick forward. Sliding in was Ashland. Can run to 50. Outside forward 50. Kick from Ashland to the top of the goal square. Just hits the post. And it's going to be their 6th minus score of the afternoon, Ryan.
6th minus score for the day. As you said, Bo. First for the Tigers. So 4-1-25, 1-5-11. We approach the quarter time siren. Riley Ashton started this game like a house on fire. He's been hot early. Kick inside. Finds the chest of Callum Kilpatrick. That's one player who's had a really strong couple of weeks. He finds McGuinness back today from suspension. I think he'd be hoping for a big game to potentially break into that Tasmanian team for next week's state game. Just waited there to Keeling when he should have gone, and you hear the reaction from the North Hobart bench. Not happy at all was Coach Adam Bester there. He's tackled there is the man they call Gus Angus Norton, so he's caught holding the ball. So they'll get a free kick here, the Tigers, through Brereton, as we mentioned. It's one of 3 Brereton brothers, I think, Bo, it is. Yeah, Marty, Ambrose and Harry all out there today, but Ambrose obviously was the man that went down with a broken arm early in this game, so he is out, and the Tigers are 1 down on the bench for the rest of this game. So interesting to see how they run this game of footy out, the Tigers, when they've been 1 down for basically the whole game. McGuinness goes back. Oh. That's dangerous, and College has done exceptionally well there to cut that off, and Tyler McGuinness would be spewing with himself to turn that footy over the way he did in the back 50. Max College, he's had already 2 strong efforts to cut plays off with spoils inside the defensive 50, and he takes a strong mark here to have a set shot on goal.
I'm just not quite sure what they're doing with that kick, to be honest, Ryan. You could see that College was creeping up behind him. You want the switch, but it was just, it was more of a 75 to 25% of hitting, to be honest, Ryan.
It was. So Max College, for his first of the day, can he put this through the big sticks? That never looked like missing Max College. So that's his first. The Tigers 5th, 5-1-31. They lead this one as we approach time on in the first quarter.
I reckon Danny's forgot to sound the siren here. We've been going for ages. I reckon even with the resumption of play at 2:55, it's been about half an hour already. So
it was, from memory, Bo, though, there was probably 3 to 4, maybe even longer than that, a couple of minutes there where play, I guess, was still on the ground before they actually called for the break-in play. So you think, what are we at now? 33 minutes gone in this first quarter. That maybe a quarter that creeps out to that 35, 36-minute mark, given that play really didn't stop until both sides dissipated into the room. So you think a few minutes left here in this first quarter.
Yeah, so Tompkinson tapping that one down. Brower with the quick hand pass off. Miller kicks it out to the wing, just in hope of creating something. Overrunning it there was Volter. Gets the hand pass received though. Kick inside forward wasn't great from the Demons, and now Brower on all fours will just get a hand pass away. Clifford as well. Forcing again there was Donnelly, but this one is going to be a free kick to Clifford, who goes to switch. Out to Griggs. Pretty good year this year, Lockie Griggs. I think he's averaging about 27 touches. Sliding mark was taken there from Adams. Not long left in this first quarter of the afternoon. 34 and a half minutes gone. Just in the direction of Clifford, but this one's going to be swatted over the line. In fact, it was College for a throw-in. So 1-5-11 plays 5-1-31 in North Hobart Oval. Pleasure to have your company wherever you're watching from around the world. Not long left into this first quarter. Nice looking throw in from the boundary umpire. Tompkinson, Sandrick just got cut off from Tompkinson again. Kick inside forward 50 from Clifford, just off the hands of College. Now being wrapped up is James Zeitzen, deep inside forward 50 for the Tigers, Ryan.
So they'll reset here. As I said, can't be too long left. And as I say those words out of my mouth, the siren does go for quarter time. So quarter time here at North Hobart Oval. 5-1-31 the Tigers. They lead the host North Hobart 1-5-11. Goal kickers for you at quarter time. Tyler Carter, the only man with 2 goals to his name, while singles to James Zeitzen, Max College and Riley Ashland, while for the Demons, the only goal scorer was Josh Bingham. So if you've just joined us in the last few minutes, your eyes don't deceive you. It is only quarter time. As we mentioned, 3 minutes into this game here, we had a nasty injury to Tigers defender Ambrose Brereton. So play did stop for about 25-30 minutes until we had an ambulance arrive on scene to transport Ambrose to hospital. So again, thoughts with Ambrose and his family. Fingers crossed that arm injury isn't as bad as it looks. So a handy lead here at the first change to the Tigers. So we'll take a short break for you at North Hobart Oval. Myself, Ryan Rosendale, Bo Dan, and we'll be back with you for the second quarter in just a little bit. Hello, welcome back to North Hobart Oval for round 15 Tasmanian State League action. North Hobart hosting Kingborough today, but it's the Tigers with a pretty handy lead at the first break. They lead this one 5-1, 31 to North Hobart 1-5-11. Again, if you're just joining us, this game has been delayed a little bit. 3:27 now, originally a 2 o'clock start, but an injury to Ambrose Brereton in the first 3 minutes saw a halt in play, but we're back in the action boat. As we said, a long first quarter, so should be back to some kind of normality here in the second.
Yeah, certainly, Ryan. It does look like Tilbury's going to run with Clifford for the majority of the afternoon. Just on cue, Clifford does get that clearance as, oh man, Colin Skeen takes the mark. Very quick start from the Tigers. Clifford wanted the hand pass received, didn't get it. So Colin Skeen, very fast play up for the Tigers. Not sure he's going to have the distance. He'll send it long, though, just to the top of the goal square. Mark nearly taken from College. Dixon. Now Kilpatrick with a clearing kick to this outer wing, but running out of tarmac was Lockie Griggs to really do anything with it. So it's going to be a boundary throw-in just in front of the North Hobart coach's box here at North Hobart Oval.
So reset here. See there, Will Clifford got the job. And the man in the 23, Sam Wright, he's had a good few weeks, Sam Wright, been able to hit the scoreboard in a number of games. So Will Clifford, one of the best small defenders in the comp, he'll have that job today. Tompkinson wins that one down only as far as Sulzberger. He gets a handball off, but that goes only as far as Brewer for the Tigers. Clifford can't take possession, applies the tackle well though. Umpire says mine. So as I mentioned a few times today, other games for you on the AFL TSL live stream. You've got Clarence and Lauderdale for the Eastern Shore Derby, and Launceston and North Launceston for the Northern Derby up at Windsor Park. Brewer, kick, handballs forward. Tries to find Ashland, can't do that. Norton with the footy now, kicks forward. Good mark taken there, just in front of the boundary line, in front of us by Jack Miller. So Miller, what can he do with the footy? The Demons will need early one here just to reset and stay in touch with the Tigers. Mark not taken by Meadows. Comes out to Lovell. Lovell gets a handball off to Bastick. He's tackled well by Thomas Leafheber. Terrific play from that man. Really sets the tone each week for the Demons as Leafheber up the northwest coast. That man, breed him tough up that way. So he's brought a real hunger and desire this year to the Demons outfit in what's been some troubling times. Tompkinson applies good pressure on Norton. Lets him know about it too at the back end of it. Norton then tackles Ashland. Umpire says mine. So again, reset. As Bo's mentioned a few times, looks like Brad Tilbury got a bit of a run with roll today on Lockie Clifford, the Tigers skipper, on his return from a corked quad. Tompkinson got a handball out to Griggs, only goes as far as Ashland with the kick. He gets his kick away just when he's pressured with a tackle. He got it back from Clifford in the end. Of the Will variety. Tompkinson again applies a strong tackle. So pretty contested here early in the second quarter, Bo.
Yeah, not much happening so far. It's a clear, obvious matchup for mine that will be Tilbury and Clifford. Not sure if they're going for the right person, to be honest. I thought Kieran Lovell's probably had a better season than Clifford, to be honest with you, Ryan, but I'm sure Adam Bester has his plans, as Tilbury is actually shutting him down quite well at the moment. Seeing on screen there is Clifford, just going to pick this one up, running out of tarmac though, and we'll see a boundary throw in. North Hobart are opting to bring up one behind the ball, a spare coming into to the midfield as well. Norton also the backstop, and Nathan James a long marking target down the line in case a hack kick just spills out. So Tompkinson, high, taken high though, was Meadows. So Charlie Meadows, they're outnumbered at the moment. North Hobart just had to stop and prop a little bit. Kick inside forward 50 though is going to not work out very well. Bastic takes a mark. Inside forward 50. Dangerous kick. Goes well though to Webb. Wilson goes on that left foot. Zeitzen now. Overlap run is provided from Adams. Skeen just misses the hand pass to Brereton though. He's going to go back and collect it. Hack out of the pack to the top of the goal square, just in front of College. Keeling quite happy to see this one over the boundary line for a throw-in.
So College has been pretty lively early. As I said, he had some really good defensive forward efforts in that first quarter. Was able to kick the last goal of the first. He's been a good touch so far in this game. As I said, first time the Tigers boys have been back on North Hobart Oval since their premiership triumph last year. So they return to the scene of their most famous crime as Ashland kicks forward. Doesn't trouble the goal umpire the way he would have liked in the end. So just a behind, 5-2-32. Plays 1-5-11. Tick into the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. The footies, they run the score. The footies come back out onto the far wing now. Mark taken well there though in the end by one of the young Tigers defenders. He kicks to Mitch Brewer, who gives off to that man Ashland. He's been everywhere today so far, Riley Ashland. He's been one of their best to start this game. Goes forward, Carter just comes through and he's down hard. Tyler Carter and Kieran Lovell with the goal at the end. He's come through and he's going to go straight to Tyler Carter. That was terrific work from that man. Was able to cause a little bit of forward pressure with a spoil. Came down to the feet of Kieran Lovell. And he made no mistake in the end of the Darryl Baldock medalist.
Right, and that goal's because in the middle of the ground, they were too focused on Clifford, and so they had a double team going on him. It was Ashland Lovell, and it was a 3-on-1 in the middle of the ground, just in front of the forward 50, where Lovell ends up getting it. So they need to man up a little bit more. The Tigers, the D's, I should say, Ryan.
Yeah, they got plenty of talent in there. That's the issue when you've got the likes of Kieran Lovell, James Webb, Lockie Clifford. You've got a plethora of options in there, and one gets off the chain like a Riley Ashland, and it leaves another open, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion with a Kieran Lovell goal. So that's his first of the day. Tompkinson won it down, only went as far as Clifford, and he couldn't take clean possession in the end and applies a tackle on Tilbury. So we reset again in the middle. 6-2-38, plays 1-5-11. Tompkinson smacks it towards Ashland. He might have been pushed in the back or held. Umpire says it was a hold. So Ashland will get a free kick. He's going to go forward now. It's just a short, sharp pass. Tries to find Zeitzen. Can't do that. Skeen takes it on the first bounce. And again, he can't find the goal. So he's been lively early as Colin Skeenboat, but hasn't been able to impact the way he would have wanted so far. So he goes in towards the back half for the Demons now. That was Ferguson. Found a player wider than that. He goes forward, tries to find Leafheber, goes over his head. What can the Demons do here? As I said, they're going to need to stay in touch. They can't let this deficit creep out. Leafheber's got the footy now on the far wing. Goes forward. Barwick's in front of Brereton. Brereton did well to just push him under the footy. Disguised it well from the umpire. They need to lock this footy in now, North Hobart. They're going to do that well. They are. So repeat stoppage inside for the Demons.
7.5 minutes gone. 1-5-11 plays. 6-2-38. Pleasure to have your company. Wherever you are. Tompkinson, McGuinness just flicked the hand pass backwards. Too hot to handle for Sandrick. Right. Just a high loopy little toss up. McGuinness kick inside forward 50 is not good though. And Tompkinson will take this one just out in front of his eyes. It was a pretty easy mark for the big fella. Out wide to Lovell. No one really manning up at the moment for the D's. College is leading up the ground. Lovell just stops and props and kicks to Griggs. Beautiful kick in the middle of North Hobart Oval. Run provided from Brereton. Kick inside forward 50. Skeen's lurking out the back. McLeod does well. Skeen, here he is again. Taken from Kilpatrick. Umpire didn't think it was holding the ball, and now Zeitzen's going to get wrapped up for a tackle, and this one is going to be called umpire's ball.
Yeah, a little bit after there with Skeen and a couple of demons. He's been lively, as I said, Bo, in the last few minutes. They're going to have to watch for him here.
Yeah, certainly, Ryan. As we see Carter tapping it down to Ashland. He pass just missing Bennett. Does well to regroup. Over the top hand pass, just missing Lovell. Trying to break out of the tackle. Kilpatrick has him in a jam. Umpire didn't call it holding the ball. Not quite sure why not. Clifford again off to Ashland. Can run to 45. Sits it out in front of Carter. Sells a bit of candy. Hand pass off. Thorpe for goal number 1 of the day. Just across the face of goal. For a behind. Really good ball movement there from the Tigers yet again, Ryan.
Yeah, it was. Had the right idea, Tyler Carter. He tried to wheel enough on his own, but he knew he couldn't do it, so he gave off to Thorpe and looked like he was on the money for a lot of that kick, but it just faded at the end there. So he kicks the Tigers' third behind of the day. Footy back out on the commentary side wing. James, he takes a strong mark and in front of Zeitz and gives off to Norton. He's got kicked that. Umpire doesn't call downfield. He was bumped late from Zeitz and was Norton. Leafheaver's got the footy now. Gives over to a teammate. Good pressure from the Tigers. Sulzberger's got it. Free kick. Umpire says advantage. Donnelly goes forward now. He's got help coming from the Tigers teammates. They're going to get it out here. Brewer kicks forward. Tompkinson's all on his own in a paddock. He's on Norton. He just shrugs him off. Almost took the helmet off him in the end.
Even numbers forward, right?
They do. So they've got to work out well here. They do through Ashland. So he has been incredibly lively in this game, Riley Ashland. Just said no Nick Baker, no Eddie Cole today. So he's one man that's helping share the load of the absence of those two gentlemen. Fly over the back, can't take the mark. There is the man in the 38. 28, I should say, in Thorpe. So one of the young Tigers that's made his debut earlier this year, and he's been able to hold his spot or return to the D-League and come back in. So Trent Bulmer giving plenty of opportunity to the next wave of Tigers players coming through. Handball out to Tompkinson came from Tom Bennett. And he's pinned in the end for a free kick on Tyler McGuinness.
Yeah, I think he's been playing Devils, Jackson Thorpe. Ryan is a really good talent.
So McGuinness, he goes inside. That's not his best work by foot. Usually a really good user. So he kicks forward now. Good mark taken. That's a terrific grab. Kick came from Eddie Golding. And a strong mark taken inside from Max College.
That's 2 now, Ryan, that McGuinness is truly stuffed up. He's,
and we're not used to that either.
Rusty.
No, not used to it at all from Tyler McGuinness. One of the best users by foot in this competition, but you wouldn't think it if you'd seen his last 2 possessions. Gave one up to in the back 50 to Max College, the man with the footy now, and just gave one up there again. So College for his second of the day. The Tigers 7th early in the second quarter. He puts it straight through the middle. 7-3, 45, 1-5, 11 as we kick into the 15-minute mark of the second quarter here at North Hobart.
Again, I'm just not seeing what Tyler McGuinness is seeing with that kick, Ryan. 2 times now he's bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Maybe he's a little bit rusty coming off probably a month of football.
Yeah, he's obviously missed played the last game before the state game against Lauderdale, so obviously missed the next week. All reports would have played the state game as if he tongue-tied again. If he wasn't suspended, he would have played in that state game. So obviously missed the state game, then missed a further 2 weeks after that. So he hasn't played footy, as you said, Bo, close to a month. So potentially coming in a little bit underdone and rusty, that man in McGuinness, but no doubt a player of his calibre will be able to respond well late in this game as we go back inside now for the Tigers. Zeitzen goes forward, only as far as Carter. Umpire says no high tackle there. Demons players call for off the boot of Skeen. I think they're going to get it, Bo, it looks like, as they go to retrieve this footy from behind the goals.
So 13 minutes gone here at North Hobart Oval. It's been an afternoon so far with a Halts in play. Not going to talk much about that anymore because the game is back on at the moment. Off the hands of James. Zeitzen, Clifford does well. Griggs kicks inside forward 50 again. 2-on-1. Carter. Monks with the fist. We'll see this one out of bounds. Had a really good roll on Jack Rewalt last week. David Monks did a pretty good job keeping him to 2 goals, 5. So He's a really nice defender, David Muggs. He can swing forward and in the ruck. He was playing a little bit of the ruck last year, donning the number 9 for the D's. So Carter, Meadows does well just to nullify him. Scooping hand pass off there from McLeod. Snap on goal from Brower to the top of the square. Monks had time. He didn't have to punch that over, but see a minor score now. 3-4-46 to 1-5-11 here. North Hobart Oval as the kick goes out to Sulzberger. Hand pass off to Barrow. Long booming kick down the line. Strong mark taken though. I think it was Kane. Can kick inside. Finds Brower. Immediately points to the goals. Going to take some sort of kick though. We'll be riding it up here in the commentary box. Mitch Brower. He had a really good season so far. One of the best for the Tigers. Mitch Brower.
Return home from stint over in Victoria.
So runs to the arc of 50. This one's going to ride to the top of the goal square. Double fisted out though from James. And it's going to be locked inside forward 50 for the Tigers once more, Ryan.
So they'll reset here. The Tigers deep inside their forward 50. As we approach now in the second quarter, 15-minute mark. So I went a few minutes early there on the last call. So we approach 15 there. So now we're into the 15-minute mark here at North Hobart Oval in the second term. Carter wins it down. The Tigers midfield is immediately tackled. We'll have some score updates for you from around the grounds right now, Bo.
So 2-1-13 plays 10-14 74 up at Windsor Park.
And we'll get a score update from Lauderdale in just a little bit. Some technical issues holding us from a score update at the tip. Brereton can't get it out in front of Barwick, and the boundary line beats all comers.
And then 5-10-40 plays 1-3-9 down there at the tip. Clarence trailing by 31 points, which is a pretty big story in itself.
Yeah, so despite no Mitch Robinson today, as I mentioned, laid out is Robbo, so couldn't get on a flight, so isn't at the tip today, despite the absence of Robbo. Lauderdale with a pretty handy lead against Clarence. Only side to haven't beaten Clarence. I was talking to Alan Christensen during the week. Haven't beaten Clarence in all the time that Bundy's been at the tip, so be a major win today for the Bombers if they're able to secure a win in Clarence in what feels like it's been forever against the two Eastern Shore rivals. So we'll keep our eye on the score down at Skybus. Good tackle applied from Griggs in the middle on McGuinness. It's been hot early in this game. Ashland on Kilpatrick. Doesn't take him to ground though, was smart. Sandrick goes over. Can't find a teammate, finds the boundary line in the end. So they'll reset again here.
So again, both even numbers behind the ball here, Ryan. Really, I think that the hack kick out isn't going to be the worst option for North Hobart if they can just get it and hack kick it out.
And they need an inside 50 at the least here to stay in touch as we approach time on in the second. Tompkinson, he wheels and turns and in the end tries to find Clifford. And boundary line can't beat him as Sam Wright makes sure he goes over for a reset in play again. So 7-4 plays 1-5. North Hobart yet to score a major here in the second term. Play resets. Score at the tip confirmation is 7-13-55 now to 2-4-16. So an inaccurate Lauderdale leading that one. So it's been one of their, I guess, areas of concern all year, Bo, is their ability to win games with a positive score in terms of goals and behinds. And again today, despite the lead, they've been able to kick 7 goals, 13. So would it come back to cost them as I think it's midway through the third quarter there at the tip. Footy back inside 50 now for the Demons. Footy's with Lovell as they repel here. Goes in the middle. Can't take the mark. Tompkinson with the fall of the ball. He's got a few to beat. Can't do that. Meadows kicks forward. Can't find Wright. Handball now to that man though. In Wright comes. He kicks a high footy. Players set. No one takes a mark. What can the Demons do here? They need a quick one. Donnelly. He tackles Leafheber. College. He just lets the footy go. Comes back to McGuinness now. Good smother there from College. He's been terrific today with his forward half pressure. He's going to go again here. Just can't make a tackle there. Kick goes forward. Tigers with the numbers. Lovell. Dangerous kick in the end. It's gone as only as far as Gus Norton. So that's not what you'd think would happen when the footy goes off the boot of Kieran Lovell, and Angus Norton will have a shot on goal as we approach time on in the second quarter.
Well, finally they win the ball back in their forward 50, North Hobart. It's been locked in there for a few minutes now, and they can finally just create something.
So Angus Norton for the second of the day for the Demons. He makes the umpire work, and he does too much in the end. Goes to the left of screen. So 1-6-12, 7-4-46.
So another long kick down the line as the sun just starts to set here in southern Tasmania. Skeen flicked a hand pass out. Ashland taken in a jam, and this one's going to be another ball up. The rain, I think, might just be coming at the moment. Clifford just off the hands of him. Scooping hand pass out there was from Kilpatrick. Right, hugging the boundary line. This one's going to be another throw in. So we'll see a few throw-ins this afternoon, Ryan. It's been a stoppage-heavy game at the moment.
As we mentioned there, Bo, sun started to set, so lights have come on here in North Hobart, as we said, delaying this game in that first quarter due to an injury. But so we'll have a later finish here than we would usually. Back on the commentary side wing, I should say, goes forward. Leif Heber takes a strong grab. He's been one of their best today for the Demons. As I said, sets the tone with his forward half pressure each week. He goes forward. They've got a few to beat. Griggs, he's one of them. Can't take the mark. Spoiled over the boundary line. So, Bo, for North Hobart, they're going to need one, potentially two goals here to have any chance, you'd think, to be confident of challenging the Tigers in the second half.
It's just their issue, North Hobart. They don't have a big key forward. Charlie Meadows is down here, down the line. They just don't have anyone to kick to.
No, they don't. Jack McCulloch, the skipper, missing for the rest of the year with a number of injuries. He's had such a tough run at it as the man they call Sid. So they really need to find a key forward, potentially go over the off-season to alleviate the load inside 50. Ashland again. He's been lively today. He finds Webb. He's got a few to beat in the middle. He does that. Goes forward. Carter's over the back. What can they do here, the Demons? Going to need a hold-up play here. They do it well. So another stoppage inside 50 for Kingborough.
When you've got Walker down there playing that second ruck, it probably just shows how tall you are in that forward line, to be honest with you, Ryan. Is another throw up. Carter tapping that one down. Thorpe, snap kick on goal from Bennett. Nearly touched on the line though from McGuinness. In fact, it was David Monks, that man, touching that one. There's not much sky at the moment. There's a spare man here by James. Ryan's just pointed out to me. Really good spot. Doesn't elect to go to him though. Kilpatrick will send this one long. It's going to be a holding free kick to Bingham though. So can they turn something over? Has to go back on his line though, which is disappointing because Volta had some good speed and some good space to go forward. So Bingham, spare back in the hole is Tompkinson. Can't quite go though. Meadows needed to work in front of him. McGuinness was held. It's going to be a free kick though to Webb. Not quite sure of that.
Stiff there, I reckon, Bo. Probably a hole both ways. Took a nice one-handed grab in the end, but umpire says hold on James Webb.
North Hobart coach's box is spewing. So Webb, dangerous kick into the middle. Tompkinson now had the run of Clifford, didn't go to him. Just a dinky little left foot kick out wide, off their hands. Bennett can send them forward once more. Kick inside forward 50. But it's going to
play it down on that far wing. Has received a free kick. I think
Dixon.
Interference in the end, the umpire said.
So Dixon will get this one. Can they create something from it, North Hobart? Not much on the end though. Everyone's forward of the ball at the moment for both teams. Kick inside forward 50. Spoil comes from the back. Sandrick again just hindered with the kick. Ashland can burst through. Out wide in front of Bradburn, I should say. Nothing to go to. Has to do it all by himself. Taps it on. Runs out of the way. Sells a bit of candy. 1, 2. Ryan Bradburn. It's a goal.
You're joking. Ryan Bradburn, the hero at Windsor Park earlier this year. That was a terrific goal that day, but I think he might have just bettered it, Bo. He had to get around two players there on a number of occasions. And that was a terrific goal from the youngster. So that's their 8th today, the Tigers, and they are well and truly in the lead, but I think it hasn't been called a goal in the end, but
I think he's given it away.
So as I rambled on about how good the goal was, I think the after effects of it, he let the North Hobart player know, and the umpire has given a free kick. So disappointing end in that play from Bradburn. He's going to end up with the footy again. So can he go forward to College? He's got the sit. Well played there from Max College. It gets to Zeitzen. Smothered though by Monks. Tilbury on scheme. Tilbury's got to just get this over the line, and he does. So if you look on the replay though for that, I think it might have either been potentially running too far or the after effects of just letting the North Hobart player know of his nice work inside 50. But that was a terrific bit of play from Bradburn. So disappointing end to that. As I said, the hero a few weeks ago up at Windsor Park. In just his second game of TSL footy, kicked the goal to win the game for the Tigers.
Did all the hard work, didn't he, Ryan?
He did everything right until the end. So disappointing there for the Tigers. Would have been a great way to finish his first half. Zeitzen wins that one down in the ruck. Ashland with a good tackle. He's been terrific today, Riley Ashland. My money best on ground so far. Kicks forward. And he goes as far as Brewer. He gives off to the skipper in Clifford. He's going to have to go back. Probably went a bit too late with the handball. He gave off to Ashland. So Ashland from about 45 out. Didn't look too bad off the boot, but only went through for a minor score. So 7-6-48. 1-5-1-6-12, I should say. North Hobart.
Tompkinson's just popped himself in the middle, so he's obviously going to be the spare man again if this one goes long down the line, which it doesn't.
They were looking there until Tompkinson came out. They were going to try to hit up James on this commentary side wing, and Skeen, he intercepts well here. So the Demons in all sorts of trouble in the back 50. Colin Skeen just wheels around a couple. But again, not his best work off the boot. He's done that a few times today. So North Hobart player also hobbling off now. Looks like Callum Kilpatrick it is. So not what you want if you're Demons coach Alan Bester, one of your best players in what's been a horror year for injury for that man and his side. So we'll keep our eye on Callum Kilpatrick as we approach the half-time siren. Footy back in with Zeitzen. Said lights have come on now. Delayed start to this game given the injury early in the first quarter. Getting very dark here at the home of football. Umpires called for a free kick in the back half. So they go again, Bo Downham.
High free kick. It's going to really much on though. Hits up Ferguson. He'll just wheel and go to this outer wing. Spotting up. I think it was McGuinness. Sulzberger selling a bit of candy. Goes long down the line. Through the hands of left. Heber nearly marked it though. It's going to be a high contact free kick to Jack Miller. Just getting really dark at the moment here at North Hobart Oval. Lights are pretty dim at the moment, Ryan.
It's tough to see from the combox, Bo, but those lights will no doubt fire up a little bit better at half time and give us a little bit more coverage on the ground.
Curtis Reid to throw this one back in. 27 minutes gone. 1-6-12 place, 7-6-48. They've kicked 5 behind since quarter time in this quarter. So Griggs can dump a long one high. Barrow nearly marking it. Norton with the crumbs. Sulzberger kick inside the middle. Finds Ferguson. Nice build up here for the Demons. Again, though, not much on. So he's just going to have to send one long down the line. Walker coming over the top, though.
Free kick to Griggs.
So Lockie Griggs can take all the time he wants. They haven't got much. We're well and truly into red time at the moment. He'll just hoist one long down the middle. Ashland with a strong mark. He's been
good today, mate.
One of the best. You'll do the votes, Ryan. I reckon he'll be up there with, if not the first, with the 3 votes. So Crane can kick them inside. Forward 50, but it doesn't really matter. The Tigers kicking 2 goals that quarter only. North Hobart yet to score a goal. They only kick 1 behind, Ryan.
So half-time here at North Hobart. Goal kickers for you at the half. 2 each for the Tigers for Max College and Tyler Carter. Singles to James Zeitzen, Kieran Lovell and Riley Ashland, while the only goal scorer for the Demons was Josh Bingham in that first quarter. So half-time here at North Hobart. As I said, injury early in the first quarter has a delayed start to this game. 3 minutes in, we saw Ambrose Burton go down with a nasty arm injury. So, again, thoughts with Ambrose, and hopefully he is well on the mend in hospital. Get an update from Coach Trent Boomler at post-game about Ambrose's situation. But we'll take our halftime break with you now.
Kilpatrick, just quickly, Ryan, Kilpatrick's looking pretty sore down there, to be honest.
Yeah, hasn't joined the rest of his teammates at halftime huddle, so he's walking off with the trainers and the coaching staff just near us in the commentary box. So keep an eye on that in the second half. One of the Demons' best players, potentially limited in the second half if he is to come back out at all. So we'll take our halftime break with you now on the AFL Taz YouTube live stream, and we'll be back with you for the second half at North Hobart Oval in just a little bit.
Welcome back to North Hobart here. It's currently the Tigers taking a 36-point lead into the major break. It's been a pretty dull game to start off with this first half, Ryan. Obviously, Aero's in the chat at the moment, so glad to see that he's doing all right, hopefully. But it's currently the Tigers who are running over the top of the Demons yet again. They haven't been great this year, the Demons. Hopefully they can find a little bit of form come the back half of this game, Ryan.
Yeah, some pretty big margins. As I said, the last time these two sides will face off in the TSL, obviously we'll both be a part of the new SFL Premier League in 2025, but the last time they'll meet in this competition, and it looks like from the way the game's panning out at the minute, it'll be another big margin. Round one they faced off, and it was the Tigers 14-19, 103 on that day to 6-8-44, and then again in round 8 they won that game 14-12, 96 to 3-6-24. So we could be set for a case of history repeating today with the Tigers walking away big winners. They go forward again to that man in Ashland. Mark not paid by the umpire though. Goes out to Brower. He goes forward. Carter's there. Can't take the mark. Bandurline beats him. So I mentioned him a lot in that first half, Boat. Riley Ashland has been everywhere today. As I said, no Eddie Cole back in New Zealand for some work commitments. He'll be back before the finals, though. And no Nick Baker out with a concussion. So he's in the 21-day concussion protocol. Should only miss one game, though, given the state game means they've got a bye next week, the Tigers. So Baker shouldn't miss too much footy for the Tigers. But Riley Ashland really filling the void of those two men today, as he has done for most of the year, to be fair, in the absence of a lot of other Kingborough players. Is McGuinness again. So we mentioned it twice in the first half. He had 2 turnovers in the back half, and he's going to add a third to his name there. He's kicked that across the face of goal, and it's gone out on the full. And it looks like it is. The man with the footy is going to be Max College. So already kicked 1 today. He's been one of their best, Max College. He wheels around, gives himself an angle, but that goes out on the full. So not his best work either, Max College. And the Demons kick this one back out through Sulzberger. So Sulzberger back in today from Coates Talent League duties with Sandringham. So it goes out of bounds, Boat.
Yeah, Kilpatrick again just come off. He's not looking very good at all. I suspect he wouldn't play too much more of this game. We'll see how he goes, but he's looking really proppy at the moment, Ryan. And on that McGuinness one, that's a real coach killer. Fortunately, didn't get the goal with the Tigers, but real coach killer, that one.
So ankle injury to Callum Kilpatrick, which is a big blow for the Demons. He's been in such good touch in the last few weeks. Tilbury with a strong tackle. Can't bring Adams to ground, but it went to Clifford. He kicked forward. Players set. They're going to repel here, the Demons. Kick towards the commentary side wing. Bastic's got the sit. He gets the footy now. Gives off to Griggs. Griggs goes forward. Just hacks it inside 50. High footy. Players set. Good mark taken though by Bailey Walker, and he'll kick this footy out of D50.
Yeah, so Walker into the middle of North Hobart Oval, just off the hands of left. Heber vaulted as well. Kicks inside forward 50. Foot races on. Mark crashed nearly there from Bingham. It's going to be a free kick though, and I think it's going to be the Tigers. It's going to be Lockie Griggs to receive it, so we'll go out wide. Hitting up a teammate there in Golding. Been pretty quiet today, Eddie Golding. They haven't really needed the defenders that much this afternoon. Kick turnover though. Keeling is going to get the mark. Leading up nicely there was Miller. Not much on though. Further afield, he's just going to have to stop. Griggs is on the 50 line. Kick just finds Sandrick, so don't reckon he'd have the legs from there, or the angle isn't really helping him either. So Sandrick, they've got a few spare back in the defensive 50. The Tigers sets it to the top. Fly from Meadows brings ball to ground. Ashland again. But McInnes, snap on goal, just only as far as right. Now Clifford with a clearing hand pass out. Bastic will toe poke this one over. He's been pretty good today, Brad Tilbury, on Clifford, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of push and shove on the fence as the umpire looks to throw this one back in. Nothing too untoward. Ben Donnelly involved with Brad Tilbury. So two of the more experienced players for their respective sides involved there. So can the Demons put one through here and try to peg back this margin early in the third quarter? They can't, but McGuinness comes through and is able to score that one out in front of Lockie Clifford. So as I mentioned, two derbies in either end of the state for you on the live stream, along with this game today. North Launceston and Launceston up at Windsor Park. It's the Bombers that'll continue their undefeated run. They currently lead that one 100-31 late in the fourth term. So another win for the almighty Bombers at Windsor Park. A score update for you as play returns here at North Hobart from the tip in a second. Tompkinson's the man with a footy. I believe it's Lauderdale that's won that game quite convincingly against Clarence, 71-18. So the Bombers with a big win to stay in touch with that top three means this clash for Kingborough becomes all the more important to remain in third position on the TSL ladder heading into the bye next week. So as you mentioned, no Mitch Robinson today for the Bombers in the end, but they have a pretty convincing win, Bo. And for Clarence, we've called their games the last 2 weeks. Coach Peter Ryan wasn't overly impressed despite their win against Glenorchy 2 weeks ago. An improved effort for 3 quarters against North Hobart last week, but this week hasn't been what they would have wanted, so they'll go in with a 2-week bye now. Obviously the state game next week they'll have off, and then they have the bye in round 16, so they'll have a few weeks to reassess where they sit as they head in towards potentially another deep run into September. Footy goes forward. Bradburn can't take the mark there in front of a Demons defender, so they go forward. That one goes through Sandrick. He gives a handball off, and they kick inside, but it only goes as far as the Tigers player in the middle, and that's cut off well by Tilbury. So Tilbury goes inside now. The Demons take a strong mark inside 50, uncontested. It's Jonty Barwick.
It's this last kick though, Ryan, that when they go inside forward 50 to try lower the eyes, this kick is probably going to be difficult for Barwick. It's that last kick going inside forward 50 that they just can't quite nail.
It might be Angus Norton in the end. So the man with a helmet.
He's Barwick, I think.
He's Barwick, so apologies there. I should have backed myself in on the first occasion. So Barwick goes forward, and in the end the Demons kick it behind. So 1-7 now. The danger sign here, Bo, is the Demons haven't kicked a goal since midway through that first quarter after the stoppage through Josh Bingham. So they're going to need one here to really put some respect back on the scoreboard.
They need one, and they need a quick grind as Lovell kicks it out of defence. Adams not taking them anymore. Keeling just holds off the hand pass. Salzberger runs into a bit of trouble. Sandrick, left Heber. This is a better build-up from the Demons. Kick to the top of the square, just hindered with the mark. Bingham brings ball to ground, gets the hand pass out. Now Barwick will nicely caress it back to Norton, and he'll go inside to Miller.
That's 50, I reckon, Bo. Yeah, no need for that at all. Not too sure who that was in the end. I'm not sure if you can get your eyes on the jumper number there, but that was incredibly ill-disciplined on that occasion, and North Hobart well within their right to respond here. They'll kick the goal, but really silly play there from the Tigers in defence. Not too sure who the man that gave the free kick away was. But
yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Really silly. No need for that. As they continue on with it here, Lockie Griggs involved, Tom Leafheber the back of the play. Ben Donnelly now involved with Leafheber. So the Tigers vice-captain will have to be a little bit careful here to give one away deep inside. I think the umpire's called a free kick for high. So things just boiling over here at North Hobart as a few players come in to try and separate here. So it's going to be a free kick, I think, to Kingborough it is. So Leafheber called for high on Donnelly. So suck it in deep inside there, forward 50. So Tompkinson gives to Lovell. He goes forward. It's cut off well though. So they've dissipated in the forward half now. So tempers flaring for a little bit there. And the Demons at the end of it, Bo, they were able to kick their second goal of the day.
Yeah, they certainly did. Hitting up there. I see Barrow with the hand pass out wide. Nearly running him down with Skeen. Another turnover though. Thorpe, Bennett kicks inside forward 50. He finds Thorpe, and he's going to go for his first of the afternoon. Quiet day by his standards. Jackson Thorpe kicking 2 on debut against Glenorchy a while back, so he'll be looking for his first. It's a real coach killer. Adam Bester not happy at all.
Harry Brereton, the man that gave away that free kick, Bo. Jack Miller, the man that was the recipient with a goal. So silly there from the man in the 26, Harry Brereton, but good goal there from Jack Miller.
So Jackson Thorpe to extend this lead out now. Kick was really ugly to start off with.
Almost
Never
snuck in.
looked like coming back to the iron, just across the face of the goal. It's going to be Norton to kick this one back in. The Demons, not much on further afield. We've said that a lot this afternoon just because they're not really working North Hobart. Bastick just shoves Janes off. And now they're going to go inside forward 50 once more. Kick to the top of the square. Carter at the back.
Geez, that's smart football from Tyler Carter. He knew Zeitzen was going to draw his opponent and also his teammate in, but he's given away a free kick in the end. So I'll eat my words. But looked really smart play there from Tyler Carter to wait over the back for that mark.
So Tom Ferguson send this one down the line. James holds up in a nice, strong contested mark. He's been good for that reason this year. And down the line again. Lefebvre was the target. Ball's just going to land outside the field of play. And the Tigers are going to repel once more.
So Griggs, that's going to be cut off. No. So Bingham almost cut off from Brower. So he kicks back inside. What can they do now through Will Clifford? He goes wide to, I think it's Ashland on the far wing. It's not. Get eyes on the number there. It's Ed Golding in the 17. So Golding, he goes forward towards College. So College will hold. He's made the arm up to get someone to come to him. So they've got numbers in the middle, but he's going to go inside 50 now. The fly comes. Mark not taken. Demons do well to cause a stoppage. So if you're just joining us, it is 4:27 on the clock. But we did have a delayed start to this game after an early injury in the first quarter to Ambrose Brereton. So delayed play here, but lights are on. It is dark, but players are keen to get this game back underway, and we're in the third quarter now. Tigers with the numbers inside. Donnelly just fumbles what he probably should have taken, given the class of that man. Applies a strong tackle now. Umpire says mine. So we'll reset. So the other games today have already wrapped up. Launceston getting handed a pretty hefty defeat on their home deck to North Lonnie, so they keep their undefeated run alive. And Lauderdale with a hefty win of their own on their home deck at the tip over Clarence. So they stay in touch with the top three, which, as I mentioned before, makes the result for the Tigers here even more important. Golding wins out in front of Barwick. He streams away towards 50. Carter, he flew, but Bailey Walker chopped it off in front of Zeitzen. So he goes forward now, finds McGuinness. So he's been a little bit rusty today on his return from a 2-week suspension. Missed 3 weeks of footy, though, given the state game. So first game for that man in close to a month. Finds James. James goes forward, has a kick from pressure from Zeitzen. Griggs at the fall of the ball. Good mark from that man, Lockie Griggs. And fist thumps on the desk of Adam Bester beside us in the coach's box. Not happy that there wasn't a spoil on that occasion from the mark from Griggs. Bradburn won't collect that, though, out on the full. Bailey Walker will be the man to bring this back in.
So Walker in the middle of the ground. Hits up Ferguson. Norton's the next link in this chain. Kicking out wide. Kicks good to Salzberger. This is a better build-up from the D's. He gets the hand pass. Shrugs off. Just receiving back to Norton. Dinky little kick forward. It's now McLeod who'll go back in the middle of the ground to Ferguson. Not much on. Salzberg was running around. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Fly there was from Griggs. Snap on goal from RJ Watson's. Just smothered and pushed over the boundary line for a throw in. That was better build. That was a better build up, but again, just lacking connection, I should say. North Hobart. It's a 30-point lead. 2-7-19 plays 7-7-49. It's a pleasure to have your company wherever you're watching around the world. So Tompkinson, Watson, just picking up the ball across the goal face, and we'll see another behind. Donnelly's going to bring this one back in for the Tigers. In fact, it's going to be Adams. Really, again, not having much to go to. They've manned up and outnumbered well, both of these teams, to be honest with you, Ryan, as Lefebvre takes a strong, nearly mark. Umpire called play on in the end, didn't have enough of it. Lefebvre, James, in and under there. was Keeling. Webb sends them forward once more. Carter pushes his man under it. Can't quite pick the ball up. He just left it behind. Tyler Carter didn't bend the knees. Brower, shot on goal. Nearly across the face though.
So just a minor score. Tigers still with a pretty handy lead here. So they're going to repel here through Norton. So he gets the footy at half back. Kicks up the line. And back inside now. Goes over the head of Sulzberger. Cut off well there by Ashland. He goes forward and Carter just takes that with one grab. Sticks the mid out. Easy as you like from the Tigers. So Tyler Carter will go back for goal number 3 to extend that lead out even further. So 30-point margin midway through the third quarter. So this to make it 36. Tyler Carter, game 152. Can he put it through the big sticks? He can. Just sneaks it through the man they call Wob. So Tyler Carter kicks his third. The Tigers 8th. They lead this one by 36 points midway through the third quarter in North Hobart Oval. So looks like it might be, as I said, a case of history repeating itself. Already 2 big wins this year. The last 2 times these 2 sides have faced off for the Tigers. 14-19, 103 to 6-8-44 back in round 1 to start the season. And again in round 8, it was the Tigers 14-12, 96 to North Hobart, 3-6-24. So potentially another pretty handy percentage boosting win for the Tigers unless the Demons can come back and apply a little bit of scoreboard pressure. Currently 36 points here at North Hobart Oval as we reset in the middle now. Tompkinson wins that one down in front of James, gives off to a teammate there, the number 22, Tommy Bennett. But again, Demons to do enough inside. Goes to McGuinness now. What can they do inside 50 North Hobart? They're going to have to do plenty here because the footy's on the deck. What's the umpire going to call? Free kick, I think. So, not too sure which way it's gone. It's gone the way of the Demons. So again, tempers flaring over and Ben Donnelly once again involved. So the man donning the number 62, Jack Miller, who kicked the last goal when tempers flared over boat. He'll go back for his second goal of the day. So Jack Miller, Josh Bingham, both goal kickers for the Demons. Can Miller put 2 to his name today on his home deck? Jack Miller, that looks fairly good off the boot. Just goes through for a behind though. So that's another one for the Demons. 2-9-21, 8-8-56, 35-point margin.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, they lost 2% last week against Clarence. They're going to lose a little bit now. What I want to point out is Lefebvre flies over the top. Walker taking a nice mark. Kick inside forward 50. Just a little bit too hot to handle there for Miller. Tilbury shrugs off. Miller again. Hunts it down.
Terrific tackle there. Too sure eyes on by who that was, but that's a great chase from Tommy Bennett.
It was Bennett with a nice tackle. Kick inside. Finds Donnelly, a little bit of dash through the middle of North Hobart Oval. Mitch Brower, isn't this mesmerising stuff from the Tigers? Carter just fell over at the crucial moment. This one's going to be a throw-in, but what I want to touch on, Ryan, is they scored 55 points from turnover last week, Kingborough. They're going to be on track to score, I'm not quite sure they get 55 from it, but they've been pretty good at turnover today.
They have been. Max College, from memory, kicked that goal off the turnover from Tyler McGuinness, so they've kicked a few goals off turnover today. They've been terrific. It's always been a strong part of their game is their defensive work. As long as Trent Bullman's been at the helm of the Kingborough outfit.
So another throw-in. Joe Gregory to throw it in. It's a nice looking throw. Carter and James. James does well. Carter in and under. Shrugs the tackle. Gets the hand pass off. Thorpe just pushed his man out of it. Kick was hindered with. Hack kick out only as far as Griggs. Has a little bit to do. Bennett nearly chased down. Kicks it out in front of College. But this one's going to just trickle over for a throw-in deep inside forward 50 for the Tigers, Ryan.
So we reset again. Zach Adams comes for a spell. Eddie Golding onto the ground. Good to see that man back after he spent a few weeks on the sidelines with injury.
Again, they've got Tompkinson down the line, Ron.
They do. So Tyler Carter will contest the ruck inside. Hack kick forward from Brower. Only goes as far as College, and he can't take the mark. So they reset once again. So again, just repeating, a bit of a late start to this game, given an early injury just 3 minutes into the first quarter. So it is 4:35 p.m. on a Saturday arvo, but we are still in the late stages of the third quarter here. We stopped play for almost half an hour while Ambrose Burden was attended to. That's why we're still got the action here on the live stream at North Hobart Oval. Clifford just shrugs a couple. Does the captain? This would be so kind of goal for Lockie Clifford. That's terrific from the skipper. Back on return today from a corked quad. Seen him miss 2 weeks, and that is as good as you like from Lockie Clifford. That's just one reason why he's captain of this outfit. One of the best players in the competition. And he puts through his first of the day to extend that margin even further. So Kingborough, I know there's still a quarter of footy to play, but you'd think would walk away with a pretty comfortable win again today, just to keep their spot inside the top 3. So Clifford's goal takes that scoreline even further. 9-8-62, plays 2-9-21 as we just tick into the 20-minute mark of the third quarter.
I'm just not sure what you can do if you're Adam Best. That's not his fault. That's his players' fault. Just not giving 100% every time they're near the ball. As Tompkinson wins this one down. Lovell. They pass out to Golding. He'll just go on the eve of 50. Bradburn standing tall. Should have a goal next to his name. Sheepishly gave it up though. Kick inside, forward 50's good to Ashland. This would be some sort of cherry on top of the cake. He's already got one this afternoon. Kilpatrick looking sore again. And I'll tell you what, he's been pretty good this afternoon, Ryan. Riley Ashland.
Yeah, he's been terrific. He's had such a good year in his return to this competition. Again, he's had one of his best games today, and this, as you said, Bo, would be goal number 2 for that man.
So crosses the paint of 50. Ashland. It's a long, high kick. It's brilliant. He's tearing the heart out of these Demons fans that have travelled here to North Hobart Oval. That's his second of the afternoon. He's playing some sort of game. Ryan.
He is been one of the most improved players in this competition. When you look across the whole of the TSL, Riley Ashland's name would be right up there.
Is he in the state team, Ron? I'm not quite sure if
he was named in the initial squad, Bo. Obviously didn't make that final team. Not too sure where things sit in terms of how many players are still at training now, given they've got game 2 next week. But I'll tell you what, he's making some sort of case for an appearance in game 2 next week, because he's been absolutely outstanding today, Riley Ashland. So he's kicked 2. Joins Max College and Tyler Carter as the only multiple goal kickers in this game. So we reset in the middle.
Pretty handy that his senior coach is the head coach of Tasmania. Even though Trent Ballmer did say he wasn't going to let that affect him, he's putting up a pretty good resume.
He is, yeah. As you said, Trent Ballmer, one of the most honest operators in Tasmanian footy. Won't let that judgment, I guess, that cloud his judgment. He knows he's got a job to do as state coach, but as you said, by Riley Ashland making some sort of case in front of that man today. He's been terrific. They're going to get another shot on goal here of the Tigers. So as we were pumping up the tyres of Riley Ashland, the footy went forward. And they'll look to kick another one in the space of a few minutes here. So not too sure. The man with the footy might be Tommy Bennett, potentially. Trying to get some eyes on him as he comes in now from the paint of 50. It's just going to fall short. Fly over the back came. Geez, that looked like it was going to go through. I think the fly came from Riley Ashland in the end. So to sit in the commentary box and pump his tyres, he's almost taken the mark of the day. But that's only going to go as far as Eddie Golding in the back half. So Eddie Golding, he'll be the man that'll have a shot on goal now. But potentially the Tigers' 11th goal of the day.
2-9. Sorry, Ryan. 2-9 on the scorecard just doesn't look very good, does it? They've had multiple opportunities, the Demons.
So they've had an 8-goal margin. Can he make it 9? Eddie Golding, he can't. That's spoiled through methodically there on the back for the Demons. So what can they do here in North Hobart? They're clearly not going to win this game of footy, but can they put some respect back on the scoreboard? Kick out now from McGuinness. He goes up to the wing. Tompkinson against Meadows. Couldn't take it, but did well to keep the footy in front of him. Came out to College, who hacks it inside 50. Norton with the footy now. He's got a few to beat. Just not sure what he wanted to do there with the footy, Gus Norton, and he couldn't really get past anyone. And only went as far as College. He might have been taken without, in the end he was. He was held after the fact. So Max College will get a free, and he's well within striking distance here, Max College. Gets just a little bit of a high five from Kieran Lovell. Quite a day today for Kieran Lovell. He's been still his lively self. Plenty of touches of the footy, kicked a goal. Currently sitting equal second in the Cripps Player of the Year leaderboard alongside the informed Noah Holmes at Clarence. Both those men on 13 votes. Fletcher Bennett and Oscar Van Dam also in that top four with 11 and 10 respectively. So another strong year from the Darryl Baldock medalist from last year's grand final. But the man with the footy who's also had his own really respectable performance today is Max College. So he's kicked one. He's kicked two. Can he make this three from 50 metres out? Max College, he works the angle incredibly well. Just doesn't do enough in the end. So he'll come for a spell now. Tyler Carter will come on, and the Demons will kick this out of the back 50.
So 25 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Lights are on here at North Hobart Oval, if you are wondering, just very dim at the moment. So Sulzberger just dumps a long one high. Tompkinson nearly. He'll be rewarded though. Nice mark flying across the face of the pack. So he'll go inside forward 50. Ashland has two to beat. Adams gets the hand pass out. Brower, Ashland, snap on goal. It's going to trickle and trickle and trickle over the line, but touched on the last line of defence from Walker. I see another behind to the Tigers. That's their 13th of the afternoon. So another kick out here for the Demons. Just going out wide. Two Demons will be called for. High contact free kick, sorry for the stumbling of the words. Donnelly. Nice intercept mark taken. Lovell was there. Adams took the mark. He'll hand pass it off to Lovell. Shrugs the initial scare of Volter. Again, just trying to work their way forward here, the Demons. Kilpatrick to Watson. Didn't want to take the advantage though. They called back in the middle of North Hobart Oval to Bingham. Kilpatrick off to Sulzberger, providing a little bit of run today. He's had a rack of touches. Meadows back to Sulzberger. Kick got smothered. Follow-up was nearly good. Left the ball behind. Clifford shrugs the tackle. Now back out wide. Lovell sends a nice kick out wide to Griggs. Skeen's leading up. Zeitzen it is. Skeen is out the back if they want to go to him. Snap kick is just outside the field of play from Zeitzen. Wasn't a very good kick at all, Ryan.
No, it wasn't. Spot on, Bo. Not his best effort there, James. Hello and welcome back to North Hobart Oval for the final quarter of this clash between Kingborough and North Hobart. It's the Tigers with a pretty comfortable lead as we head into the final quarter of play. 11-13-79 plays 2-9-21. Your eyes don't deceive you. The clock does say 4:52 p.m. As I said, injury early in this game to Ambrose Bruden has had a bit of a later start than we went in expecting. Delay of about 25 minutes, half an hour in that first quarter. While we waited for an ambulance to arrive. So obviously thoughts with Ambrose, and hopefully he makes quick and speedy recovery from what appeared to be a nasty arm injury. But we reassess and look forward to, I guess, the final quarter boat. Riley Ashland has been everywhere today for the Tigers. Tyler Carter, Max College up inside 50, so they've got plenty of work to do. Have the Demons.
They certainly do, Ryan, as we go back into the middle now. Digging him into the turf there was Norton. Nice tackle laid. So you hope they can just give a little bit of effort this quarter. Tompkinson, free kick's going the way of him. These lights haven't quite set in yet here at North Hobart Oval. He'll go forward once more for the Tigers. Sells a bit of candy on Meadows. Kicks it inside forward 50. Zeitzen hangs low. Walker did well to caress him under the ball. Nice mark taken there from Walker. Now out wide. Barwick gets the hand pass away. Tilbury just pushes. Should say gets pushed off there from Clifford. It's going to be a free kick to Clifford. So going forward once more. Nice kick finds Griggs, who's worked his way up the ground. Reward for effort today, Lockie Griggs. He's gone unnoticed, but he's done some really special things this afternoon in their resurgence, the Tigers. So this will be for goal number 1 of the afternoon for Lockie Griggs. Not a well-known goal kicker, Ryan. He's more playing off the half-back line, but this would...
Especially this year, he's shifted back boat.
Be a pretty special goal for Griggs. Crosses the paint of 50. Umpire barely has to move. Another goal for the Tigers. Make that 12.
Yeah, he's a terrific user by foot, Lockie Griggs, which is one of the reasons why Coach Trent Bulmel has shifted him into a more permanent role in that back half of the ground. Obviously, he spent a lot of time last year playing on the wing before he suffered that nasty injury in the lead up to finals that really cost him his shot at becoming a premiership player. Did everything he could to turn what I believe was a 6-week injury into a 3-week injury and come back early, but just didn't quite get to the finish line. So it was one of those players that unfortunately wasn't able to taste premiership success alongside a lot of his teammates. But he's returned this year in fine form, hit a milestone earlier this year, and he's come back as an integral part of this side in a new position in the defensive half. But as you said, Bo crept up forward on that occasion and put through his first of the day. So good to see him back out there as Skeen just bursts inside with a pace of 50, goes to Bradburn and he puts it through. So terrific play there from a couple of the small forwards for the Tigers. Skeen and Bradburn combine, and Bradburn puts through his second.
It's probably only really their second or third goal from centre bounce this afternoon, Ryan. They haven't scored too many. It's more been off turnover or winning the ball back from half back. It's only been really 1 or 2 goals from centre bounce like that we've seen for the afternoon, which the Tigers are pretty well known for, to be honest, Ron.
Yeah, they've got one of the deepest and best midfields in the comp. You look at what they dispose it, what they, I guess, have in there in terms of Lockie Clifford, Eddie Cole when he's available, James Webb, Riley Ashland, Kieran Lovell. They've got so much talent in that part of the ground. Nick Baker when he isn't playing deep inside. Lockie Griggs is one that can also shift from a backline position into the middle. So they bat so deep in there. And as you said, Bar, it's one of their real strengths to be able to create scores from clearance. So footy back on the far wing now. Griggs, he's got it. Kicks it inside with a bit of a dinky pass. Goes all the way towards the chest of Tyler Carter, and that's a terrific handball. Oh. And Ryan Bradburn almost had his third goal of the day. Just hit the post as it came through. So kick back out now. Good mark taken. No, says the umpire. So he didn't have enough of it in the end. Did the North Hobart player. That was the man in the 15, RJ Watson. So ball goes out of bounds in the end. So we'll reset here. As I said, both other games in round 15 have been well and truly wrapped up today. North Bonnie secured a pretty big win over arch rivals Launceston and Windsor Park. While Lauderdale, of course, a little bit of an upset if you look at the terms of the ladder position. Fourth side on the ladder beat the second side. So they hand Clarence just their third loss of the year. The only side apart from North Wonnibo, to beat the Roos this year are the Southern Bombers. So a big statement made from Lauderdale today, even in the absence of Mitch Robinson, was meant to return to the tip this week, but unfortunately wasn't able to make the trip down. So really big win for Alan Christensen's side there to stay in touch with the top three, because Kingborough are going to end up with a big win here. So those two sides locked in a tight battle for that third spot as we head into the last rounds of the season. Clifford's amongst it in the middle. So are a number of other players. He might have been held in the end. He was, Lockie Clifford. So James Webb was on the bottom of that pack in the end, but Lockie Clifford will get the free kick. So he'll back himself in here as he gets the footy off his cousin Will. So Lockie Clifford, been such a warrior in this outfit for a lot of years. Lockie Clifford took over the captaincy from Sam Rice a number of years ago, and it's just a role he's excelled in. One of the more underrated footballers in this competition.
Oh.
That's not his best, as I've pumped his tyres up. I'm putting the ultimate Mickey on him.
Great kick.
It was, yeah. So that was a good kick there to Lefebvre, and he'll go forward.
So Lefebvre through the middle of North Hobart over. They're going to stream here, the Demons. Numbers flood forward. Kick inside forward 50. Watson crashes the pack. Gets the crumb. Couldn't get his kick away. Holding free kick to Watson. Consolation goal up for grabs here at North Hobart.
Yeah, this would be handy for the D's, as we said. Just the 2 goals. We kept goalless in that second quarter, and then they were able to get one late in that third quarter through some undisciplined play from Kingborough in the back half. So this would be, as you said, Bo, a consolation goal, but a handy one for North Hobart.
So a little bit of reward for effort here. Watson hasn't kicked a goal today. Only playing as a midfielder. The kick will go on its way. Umpire has to do a little bit of shuffling to 10 now. Plays 13-14 here at North Hobart Oval. Currently pretty big lead by way of 70 points. So another kick in from Donnelly. Hits up Bennett. Had a little bit of run and support on from Adams. Didn't elect to go there. Goes now to Adams, I should say. The run was supported by Thorpe. So now again, Griggs sells a bit of candy. Streaming through. Kick isn't good though. Only ends up in the hands of Barwick, I think it is. He'll go back inside forward 50 again. Bringing ball to ground nicely. There was Miller. Watson's going to get the ball, but Miller was also going to get the free kick. He's a booming left foot kick, Jack Miller. He's got 2 today. Sorry, I should say 1. Looking to make it 2 for the afternoon. Again, pretty similar spot to Watson, maybe a few metres back. So, makes for a pretty tough kick. Early stages of this last quarter. Crosses the arc of 50, Jack Miller. It's a nice looking kick from Miller. Consolation goal to the D's. Does well, Jack Miller. He's got 2. Back into this side. Won the Dev League Premiership last year. He's only 18, Jack Miller, so a lot of talent to come.
So 13-14-92. Kingborough. And a goal the Demons needed. That gives them their third. So they kick their third, as we said, only a consolation goal. So lights well and truly power on here at North Hobart. 5 o'clock on the dot. So we'll reset in the middle now. I said Kingborough with a pretty handy lead, 13-14-92 to 3-10-28. So another dismal day if you're a North Hobart supporter, but as we know, this team's been marred with injuries this year. A lot of their top-end talent hasn't been available for large chunks of the year. Led by skipper Jack McCulloch inside 50. There's a little bit of afters here with Brad Tilbury and his opponent, trying to get eyes on who's on the bottom of Brad Tilbury here.
How have you seen that match up today, Ryan Tilbury?
It's been an interesting one. Might be Zach Adams on the bottom. Brad Tilbury clearly. It is Zach Adams, so a little bit of afters between those two men. Yeah, as you said, Bo, he's looked like he's had a little bit of a run with roll with Lockie Clifford today. Looks like Zach Adams is going to get a free kick in 50 metres. No, just be a free kick down the field a little bit. Yeah, it's been interesting. Lockie Clifford's probably had the better of the day on Brad Tilbury, but clearly Clifford one of the better players in this competition. So
No disrespect there to Brad Tilby, but when you're trying to match up against one of the premier captains and premier midfielders in this comp, it's always going to be a hard battle to win. Good mark taken there. That's Jack Tompkinson. So really strong there from the man they call Tomo. So he'll go back for his first goal of the day.
I think what we probably need to add, Ryan, is that there is no Marcus Gardner. I'm not quite sure where he is, but no Marcus Gardner this afternoon, just proving they can get it done with Tompkinson in the ruck.
Yeah, clearly one of their big strengths is the fact that they've got two ruckmen there. As you see, Tyler Carter and Brad Tilbury just exchanging pleasantries. So Jack Tompkinson will go back and put that straight through the big sticks. So again, a few boys getting stuck in to the Demons now. But that'll go through off the boot of Jack Tompkinson. And yeah, but as you said, no Marcus Gardner. They form such a really strong duo. There's a ruck tandem for Kingborough. It's been one of their real strengths since Jack Tompkinson's come back to this side from his time up in Brisbane. He just comes through and he gives Brad Tilbury another piece of his mind. So clearly still some feeling in that from Brad Tilbury. Zach Adams instinct a few minutes ago. Riley Ashland also just a little bit on him there.
Where is Gardner, Ryan? You
not too sure, though. It's a very good question. No, I don't have any mail on where Marcus Gardner may be. I know Lockie Godomski's away on holiday, so the reason that man isn't out there, but I'm not too sure where Marcus is. Potentially injured, potentially unavailable through some stuff away from footy. Might be on holiday, maybe somewhere else. Can't be out there today, but I might try to get some confirmation from Coach Trent Bullmiller post-game on why Marcus isn't out there today, because you said he's such a star, such a warrior in this outfit. That's a very good shot on goal. It's not going to go where he wanted in the end from Bradburn. As we said, it's getting very hard to see from where we are in the commentary box now, though. The darkness is well and truly set in.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's a good point, Ryan. Very, very dark and cold here at the moment. So 11 minutes, 20 gone. Umpire throws this one back in. Carter's lurking around. Lovell tied along the boundary. Snap kick on goal for number 2. Lovell nearly. It was a nice looking kick off the boot, but just across the right goal face for a minor score. So 15 behinds now for the afternoon, and that one is just probably should have been swallowed there from Keeling. It wasn't, though. So 3:10:28 plays, 14:15. I believe that says 99 over there on the scoreboard. So it's a 71-point lead here to the visiting team. Made the trip up the highway. I haven't looked back since they left. It's been a pretty good performance thus far. Carter, Dixon, wrapping him up there nicely again was the big fella in Carter. Another throw up here. Just on the eve of the 50. James spikes it out of midair. Sandra Curry kick just in front of us here in the commentary position. Here's the Messiah, Tompkinson. It's the hand pass away. Bastic, hand pass just missing. Now they're going to go with speed. McGuinness, the D's. Volta kicks it inside forward 50. 1-on-1, Donnelly winning this one. Meadows brings ball to ground. Wright's lurking around as well. Couldn't quite make anything of it, though. And Bastic is the winner in that contest. Ashland nearly bringing the ball in. Norton kicks it inside forward 50. Meadows stands underneath it. Clifford mopping up in fullback. Griggs back out wide. Now finding Donnelly. They'll go to Tompkinson. Nice little bit of run and dash. Brereton to this outer wing. Hits up Lovell. Not much to go to. Kicks it into the corridor. Ashland. Runners on. Clifford has a paddock to work into. Lockie Clifford. I should say Will Clifford, in fact. Brower kicks it inside forward 50. Carter at the back. 2 bites of the cherry. Umpire called play on. Skeen's lurking as well. And this one's going to be wrapped up for a ball up just on the eve of the goal square. Near the teeth of goal. It's going to be Carter again, ripping it out. Bennett crumbed the ball nicely, gets the hand pass away. McGuinness is in there, wrapping the ball in. And we're going to see a further ball up. So a stoppage-heavy game this afternoon here at North Hobart Oval, suiting probably both teams. More Kingborough though. Carter, again, getting that one out there is Skeen. Always dangerous near the footy, Colin Skeen. It's going to be a ball up deep inside forward 50, Ryan.
It's been very dangerous today, but as we've mentioned a few times, inside 50, but hasn't been able to hit the scoreboard yet. So he'd like to tidy up his game inside 50. He's had a few shots on goal, but hasn't been able to hit it in an impactful way, the way he would have liked. Footy goes back inside now. Mark not taken almost. Team's going to have to do well here through Walker to repel. So it comes in the middle of the ground, as we said before. It's getting very hard to see here at North Hobart. Lights are on, but from where we sit in the commentary box, it's a little bit tough to see. Riley Ashton, the man with the footy now. He goes inside. Mark not taken. Over the back's College. He can't win it down. They bring it back now, the Demons. Mark taken on the wing. It's a good one. And in the 62. That's Jack Miller, the multiple goal kicker for the Demons. He goes forward now to Bingham. He takes a strong mark in front of Griggs. He plays on. Goes forward now. Can't find a teammate. That was Meadows. So we approach now the midway point of this last quarter. 15 minutes gone now. So not too long left. Couple of minutes before time on, and then you wouldn't think there'd be too long left after that. We've had a lot although to be fair to say, but we've had a lot of long quarters here today. So it could still be a little bit of action to come once we hit red time. So as we've mentioned a few times today, TSL will break at the end of this game for the state clash next week against a combined team from the ACT and Sydney. And then after that, we'll get reset for the remainder of the home and away season before the finals hits. Like Tompkinson and Norton just exchange pleasantries in there. Looked like Tompkinson might have given away a free kick on the half-forward flank in that last passage of play. So the Demons will have a set shot on goal here through Tommy Leafheber. So hasn't hit the scoreboard today, Leafheber. Can he put through his first and put a little bit of respect back on the Demons' name? He can. That goes straight through. Umpire barely moved. So Tom Leafheber puts through his first. The Demons' fourth. And he brings that margin back now as we tick in to time on. As we approach, time on in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Leafheber's been good this afternoon. I think he hasn't.
He's been one of their best, for sure.
Hasn't had the supply that he probably would have wanted, but again, he's been pretty good down there in that forward line, half forward, flank sort of role. So, just cutting that margin back down to 65 points now. 17 minutes gone. As Ryan said, nearly ticking over into red time. Pleasure to have your company. Last game of round 15 here in the TSL. Ashland bursting out with speed. On Clifford. What can he do? Goes out wide. I think there might be Adams with ball in hand. Kicks it inside forward 50. Tompkinson crashing the pack. Walker. Hurried kick out of there by the D's. Leafheber was there. Crumbing the ball nicely. Gets the hand pass away. A little bit of running carry here would be good for the D's. Dixon. McGuinness. Now to Salzberger. He'll send it long to the teeth of goal. Brereton has two to beat. Nicely done there from North Hobart. Showing good intent finally. It's a nice tackle late.
Very good tackle indeed, Bo. Looks like they'll get a set shot on goal from, I think, just on the paint of 50.
I think it's going to be Bingham here.
It's been good today, Josh Bingham. He's done a lot of nice things inside 50.
He certainly has. Kicked that time wasn't very good. Leafheber tied up along the boundary. It's a nice intercept mark taken.
It's Griggs.
And now it's going to result in a little bit of run. Bradburn, nice leading mark out.
Got a lot of talent, this
Been
kid.
Strong.
He'll be one they want to lock away for the next 5 years, Ryan Bradburn.
Keeling should have marked that one. Nicely done there from Ferguson. Lays a nice tackle. They had Skeen out if they could get to him. Couldn't though. Always dangerous when he's lurking around. My man's Colin Skeen. So Ball up just in front of us here in the commentary position. Sulzberger's trying to hunt that one down. Lovell gets the hand pass nearly away. It was a throw. So Norton hasn't been terrible for the D's either. Can go again. Nearly tracked down. He was hunted. Umpire didn't think it was holding the ball. Tompkinson. Kick inside forward. 52 on 1 though was Brad Byrne. And I think it might
Max
be...
College again. Applied that pressure on Angus Norton both. Sorry to interrupt, but he's been terrific today with a number of pressure acts like that.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. He's been enormous down there. He's a really good half-forward player. He can work his way up the ground, and because he's tall and is a marking prospect, they can literally swing him anywhere. He's got some nice running capacity, Ryan.
I was about to say that he's got an enormous tank. He works up the ground really well, and his ability to work back is one of his strong suits. So he's been super today, along with a guy like Riley Ashland. Has been a big reason why the Tigers have been able to, will be able to walk away with a pretty comfortable win. Sulzberger gets tackled by Tompkinson. Does it again on Leafheber, just throws him on the deck. Umpire says no issue with that one. We might have had an issue in the end with that one. So Leafheber will get a free kick. Riley Ashland's on the mark, so not too sure if it was Ashland or Tompkinson that gave the free kick away. He goes short there, gives off to a teammate in James. So James will play on, wheels around, kicks a high footy inside. Donnelly with the sit. He takes a strong mark as the vice captain. Sorry, that's Bastic. The man with the helmet, Donnelly behind him, deep inside the defensive 50. Ashland can't take it out in front of Norton.
So where do they go from here, do you reckon, the D's, Ryan? They face up against Glenorchy next week at KG5, whereas
the week after, sorry.
I should say, yeah, the week after the state game, and then obviously Kingborough back at home against Launceston.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. Hopefully they are able to get a few of their injured players back in to, I guess, give them some support in the back half of the year. As I've said on a few occasions today, they've been so cut down with injury this year to a number of players, led by their skipper Jack McCulloch. Callum Kilpatrick missed a lot of footy. Gus Norton's missed a few games here and there, so obviously no Isaac McCrimmon today. A lot of their more senior players haven't been able to put a really strong patch of footy together. They've been unavailable on a number of games, so hopefully for Coach Adam Bester and the rest of his coaching staff, they can get some continuity in their final 22 in the back half of the year, and then look towards a really strong first year in that SFL Premier League next season. Whistle's blown inside 50. Free kick to the way of the Tigers, so they'll get a free kick inside 50 here. It's like a man with a footy.
It's College.
Is College, it is. So Max College, he's been good today. He's kicked 2 already, but he's been involved in plenty of play. Really deserves to probably finish up with 3 goals. Does Max College. So he'll kick from about 45 metres out directly in front. He makes the umpire work, and he does too much in the end. So he puts through a behind. So score update 14-16-100 to 4-10-34. 22 and a half minutes gone. So well and truly into time on now, but
they've hit the 100 mark again this year, Kingborough. Nice little kick out of defence there. Spots up McLeod. Haven't seen much of Zach Burrow this second half, Ryan. Keeling is at the back. Spoil just comes down hard from James. Slipping over was Meadows. Nice ground ball pick up from the big man. Sharks 2, and then he's hunted down there from Adams. Doesn't let him know about it. Probably should have. That was a really good tackle there from Zach Adams.
Really good to see him start to find some form, Boat. Came back against Northlawn. He was quiet by his own lofty standards, but given he was off the broken neck, and then he's come back last week and this week and been super.
He's been brilliant, hasn't he, Ryan? As Bastic kicks it inside forward 50. Pack forms. Walker. Ashland hunting down McLeod. Ashland again in there. Not much really going on as the ball just starts to bobble around, and we'll see another ball up. 23 and a half minutes gone here at North Hobart Oval. Well and truly into red time. Carter flicks the hand pass. Right intercepts it. Goes out wide. Juggling the mark though there was Golding. And he'll go inside forward 50 once more to that man College on the lead. Hasn't really had the reward for effort today. He really deserves 3, as Ryan said. He'll get another opportunity to make it 3 goals, 1, I believe. Been brilliant today, Max College.
Tyler Carter is letting Gussie Norton know all about it. Those two, a little bit of it stick with each other at the minute.
So College will take some sort of kick for the big man. Crosses the arc of 50. Kick is on its way. Kick is not good enough. It'll go to the left goal face.
So what can North Hobart do here? Can they add another one late in this game before the final siren sounds? Kick out is a good one. Goes to McGuinness. McGuinness kicks a high footy, gets it to the centre of the ground. Leafheber can't take the mark. He can no. Did the double grab, couldn't get it in the end. Goes back towards a forward 50 for Kingborough. A few players set, one over the back. There, couldn't take the mark. As the darkness well and truly sets in here at North Hobart Oval. A women's game to follow if you're here at the ground. Kingborough and North Hobart to once again contest in that one. So the girls will play under the cover of darkness with the lights on. 8 degrees at ground level, so a very fresh winter's night in Hobart. Footy will come out now. Tonkinson's on a paddock on his own. He just holds. He's got a teammate on. He goes that way now. Kick inside is a good one. In the end, no, it's not. So Griggs, though, does well to come in and aid some and give some support. North Hobart, they're going to go back inside now. Mark taken again. Inside the defensive 50 from Jack Tomlinson. So good to see the big man helping out in defence. Brereton goes inside. That's not his best off the boot, but it goes to Griggs, but he couldn't get clean possession either. So some pretty ugly play here to wrap up this contest at North Hobart Oval. As I mentioned before, wins also today to North Launceston over Launceston. And Lauderdale secured a big win over Clarence, the only side apart from the Northern Bombers to defeat Clarence all season. So they go to 10-3, and Lauderdale stay in touch with that top three. But Kingborough will remain in third spot today with a pretty hefty percentage boosting win. Brower sells a bit of candy, comes back inside, tries to find Lovell. He can't do that. Goes inside again. Repeat inside 50s for the Demons, but they haven't been able to take advantage on the score. Well, that's a terrific tackle there. That man was number 26 for Harry Brereton. So one of three Brereton boys out there today, as we mentioned earlier in the call. Ambrose was taken away via an ambulance just 3 minutes into this game with what looked to be a pretty nasty arm injury. Ashland, he's been BOG for me today, Bo. He's been super. Riley Ashland. 2 goals, plenty of touches inside. He's done a mountain of work, and it's poetic that man finishes with the footy on a day where he was best on ground. So the Tigers walk away pretty comfortable winners today. 14-7, 101 to 410-34. Goal kickers for you at the final siren. Tyler Carter kicked 3. 2 each to Max College and Riley Ashland. Singles to Lockie Clifford, Kieran Lovell, James Zeitz and Lockie Griggs, Jack Tomkinson. And for the Demons, it was Jack Miller with 2, Josh Bingham and Thomas Leafhever with 1 each. So whatever way you look at it, Bo, it was a pretty comfortable win for Kingborough today. They were able to recover from what was a nasty injury to one of their players today and walk away. Pretty handy winners, so that'll take them to, I guess, to lock up third spot heading into a bye next week. And if you coach Trent Baumler, Bo, I think that's as fair a game as you can expect from his side on what originators, I guess, they came in thinking a win, but didn't come the way they would have expected given that early injury to Ambrose Brereton.
Yeah, certainly. It's always hard when there's an injured player. It'd be harder when your brothers got injured, but I think the way that those 2 boys carried themselves this afternoon, that are the brothers of Ambrose, I think they carried themselves pretty well. To be fair to them, it's been a pretty good afternoon here at North Hobart Oval. It's been one that North Hobart will not like to look back on, really, looking at the Vision Ryan. Obviously, the bye next week for the state game. Tickets are on sale now up at UTAS Stadium. We'll have the live stream covering that if you can't get to the ground, or City Park Radio will be doing a live broadcast from the ground as well. So make sure you tune into that. Big shout out to Simon DeLittle on the camera, Ash Wilkes in the studio. Ryan, final words.
Yeah, pretty comfortable win here in the end for the Tigers. As I said, their first time back on this deck since their grand final triumph of last season. So they've got a good record on this deck and they walk away pretty comfortable winners here in the end. 14-17, 101 to 4-10-34. So from myself, Ryan Rosendale, and Bo down here in the commentary box, it's been a pleasure to once again be with you. We won't see you next week, as Bo said, with the state game, but tune in on the AFL Tas YouTube live stream. We'll get along to UTAS Stadium for that one next Saturday night. And we will see you in round 16 for 2 weeks. Bye for now.